In the White House, President Eisenhower signs the proclamation that makes Alaska's entry into the Union official, nearly 92 years after Lincoln's Secretary of State bought the territory from the Russian Tsar for $7 million.
The Alaska Wild Project podcast is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Barney's Sports Chalet, supplying hunters with the best hand-selected gear since 1963. The exclusive home of frontier gear built for the rugged Alaskan terrain. Your one-stop shop for all your outdoor needs. Visit Barney's today at 906 West Northern Lights.
Arbor Digital, the forefront of digital assets, cryptocurrencies, and wealth management, providing a low-cost, research-based investment strategy for Alaskans looking to invest their hard-earned money. Visit arborcapital.io today to put your money to work.
Tailored Restoration 24-hour emergency home services, helping Alaskans restore their dreams since 1972. Services include fire, water, mold, post-emergency cleaning, repair, and remodeling. Give them a call in Anchorage, Eagle River, Matsu, or Fairbanks. Hit them up at tailoredrestorationalaska.com.
Total Truck and Alaska Overlander, Alaska's premier supplier for custom automotive accessories and overlanding products, providing all-inclusive rental vehicles and trailers custom outfitted to explore the Alaskan backcountry with a unique and convenient traveling experience.
Serrano's Mexican Grill, 2 locations, one on Tudor, one on Northern Lights. The Northern Lights location has their new tequila bar. Check it out. Also see their daily specials at serranosmexicangrill.com.
TheTreehouseAK.com, located at 341 Boniface Parkway, Alaska's own and grown cannabis and CBD store. Ask the bud tender what the strain of the day is to get your 10% off. The Treehouse, where the culture lives.
The Connoisseur Lounge, Alaska's premier locally owned and operated cannabis retailer, located in the heart of Palmer, Alaska. Their cultivated products include Snowcap Romance, Aurora Haze, Super Glue, and much more. Find them at theconnoisseurlounge.net.
AKO Farms, located in Sitka, Alaska, built from the ground up with concentrates as their single motivation, with exclusive products such as their sugar wax, full spectrum diamond sauce carts, and more. Ask your local bud tender about AKO. Marijuana has intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming and addictive. Marijuana impairs concentration, coordination, and judgment. Do not operate a vehicle or machinery under the influence. There are health risks associated with consumption of marijuana. For the use of only by adults 21 and over. Keep out of the reach of children, and marijuana should not be used by women who are pregnant or breastfeeding.
The Bait Shack, located on Ship Creek upstream of the bridge. Can't miss the bright red shack. They're the go-to fishing gear rental and guide service on Ship Creek. Tight lines and fish on. Come hook into the action with them. Hit them up at thebaitshackak.com.
Anchortown Dogs, located on 4th Avenue across from the old 4th Avenue Theater. Look for the blue and gold umbrella. From reindeer dogs to bomb euros, they've got you covered. Anchortown Dogs, your local gourmet hot dog and sausage cart.
Crude Magazine, Alaska-based media outlet using the last frontier as a springboard to discover larger truths about the cultures of our great state. Read more at crudemag.com.
Lawn Pro AK, Alaska's year-round professional property maintenance team. Services include snow and ice management, weekly lawn care, and more. Get your free estimate today at lawnproak.com.
Double Shovel Cider Company, located off of Arctic and 58th. Handcrafted Alaskan-made colonial ciders. They also have a tap room downtown on the corner of 5th and E. Stop by today and taste an award-winning cider.
Lady with a Plan, your own Alaska event planner. From scouting the perfect location to planning the tiniest details, specializing in event management and production for intimate social gatherings. Find Lady with a Plan on Instagram.
Yeah, that's how you get recruited as a...
Oh, you fucked up.
Oh, you already did the caribou call early?
The pre-call.
That's how we know who listens to the podcast.
Yep.
It sneaks up on you.
Strike one.
I got excited. It's new. I haven't tried this one.
Oh, you haven't tried this one?
No.
Oh, man. Bring that closer to you right there so we can hear you good. No, this one is like, be careful. This is like, drink 2 of those and better eat a sandwich.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
Order a pizza.
Order a pizza.
Yeah, so the this is how you get your kid on the right baseball team, which is the fun baseball team. Is always the right baseball team, and fun means like the coaches have beers afterwards, their own refreshments. But you get your kid on that team by sponsoring the beer at the end, and I just happened to make it. so we're like the cider sponsored Little League team, coach pitch team.
That's actually a very unique thing that happens, because at soccer you feel like you can't bring a beer.
Oh yeah,
it feels totally different.
Yeah,
because I was at Noah's soccer tournament at Kincaid like 2 weekends ago. I was like, I should bring some beers, and I was thinking about bringing the cooler and all that. And then I got there, I was like, good thing I didn't. Yeah, everyone's like super intense, but at baseball,
no, it's super chill.
You can just drink, because I think it's neighborhoody.
Yeah, neighborhoody. It's just like part of the pastime is like peanuts and beer, right?
Yeah. Because you're right in the neighborhood. Like all the like soccer, you're driving to Kincaid or you're driving to fucking who knows where to go watch the game. Whereas every baseball game is in your neighborhood, which some people might not know that. I mean, I'm new to baseball with my kids. I never played baseball, but I didn't realize it was such a community, like a neighborhood community driven sport where all the kids within your neighborhood only play each other until they go play tournaments or all-stars or whatever. So every, like we live in Turnagain, so Turnagain has their thing, and then like City View and Abbott Rabbit and like these other places have it. And I realized how cool it was because I didn't know that J Bear, their league is kind of with our league. Like they have a team. Yeah, sometimes they have a team if they have enough. But we had the all-star tryouts on whatever this past weekend. Actually, we had to come home early from the Kenai because it was like Sunday morning at 10. Yeah. And when I told Mattel, he's like, I don't know if I want to try out then. Because he loves fishing, but the fishing sucked. So he's like, all right, we're going to go try out. But the J-Bear guy was there, and they must have got the wrong email because they all showed up at noon when it was at 10.
Oh, no.
And I felt so bad because I seen him because he was coaching before. He coached like coach pitch. I think he was like Noah's coach or something a couple years ago. And I just overheard him telling all the other parents, he's like, man, they're like, where's all the cars? Where's everyone at? He's like, oh no, this is like all the kids rode the bikes. So he like points over and there's like 50 bikes like over on the far side because all the kids that tried out just like rode their bikes.
Yeah.
And the parents ride their bikes and we'll ride our bikes to practice. Yep. So it's a really cool community sport. Yeah. Which I never knew that, I guess soccer's not like growing up in a Colombian family, like that wasn't our sport. Like baseball is more like for Hispanics, it's more like a island Hispanic sport, like Dominican Republic, Cuba, like that's their number one sport. But in South America, it's soccer. Yeah. Which there's beer drinking in soccer too. You can go there and there's more than that. There's barbecues and everything at soccer. But another thing that I was just thinking about as I was talking about that was I was at Rustic Goat the other day, and I was talking with Nick, my brother-in-law, how like what a cool like concept that is of like having the neighborhood restaurant deal, and even kind of how the bakery, what's the bakery? Fire Island, and how they have their thing downtown with
and the East Side one.
And the East Side one. I was like, man, you should be able to never have to leave your neighborhood if you don't want to have like a little Nusagaya, a brewery, a little restaurant. Like that should be embedded everywhere.
It should be. Yep. And it's like a permitting nightmare to get those.
Yes.
And you have to have a change of use for the land. It has to go through the assembly. And then like parking, like you got to figure out this whole parking thing because you have to follow the city parking codes, and they don't like consider that, okay, well, 80% of the people that are coming in are on their bike or walking. Even the winter, we're walking to Rustic Goat.
Yeah. And people are skiing there.
Yep. Fat tire bikes and Yeah, they just put so much hindrance on that like business, like to do that community style thing because of parking. But now when you look at it and you go to look at, houses for sale or anything like that, that's like one of the pluses on there, like, oh, close to Rustic Goat. You know what I'm saying? They're like advertising it as like this is a positive thing now, where it's like, man, every neighborhood should have at least the opportunity
if someone in that neighborhood or anyone wants to open up whatever
Totally.
there.
Yeah.
It just kind of reminds me of like boroughs in New York, things like that, where you have like the bodega and you have your little spots where you never ever leave your little neighborhood
Yeah.
in Brooklyn or
Yeah,
wherever
you can
you're at.
walk. Like, why do we have to drive everywhere?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially now with gas, it's like insane.
Oh, man.
And all the prices of everything. Like you should be able to just be in your community, you know?
Yep, you're speaking to the choir. I agree. Yeah, man. It was interesting because when we first started Double Shovel, a bunch of our friends in Turnagain were like, "Oh, here's some land." Like it was pretty close for us to go, and there was like no way that we were going to be able to do the change of use for that land.
Yeah.
But we looked at it, and it would be awesome to have like a little brewery right there.
I mean, there's room for that. I don't know, what's it take? Like a couple generations of politicians to decide it's okay,
Yeah, yeah,
you know?
yeah. I don't even think if you got everyone in your area to agree that it would be enough. You'd have to go into like make new like city regulations, basically.
Yeah.
You know.
But let's do it. I mean, it's 2022. Let's just move things on. But even when they were going to do Rustico, remember there's people picketing?
Oh, yeah, it was crazy.
People are mad. They're like blocking the road. Like, you're not going to take our park away. Like, no, you don't even go to the fucking park.
Right.
Like, it's just like grass there that you never go there.
Yeah.
And you never use that little parking lot there.
Right.
Ever.
Yeah.
Like, no one was ever there.
Yep.
You know, I drove by it every day. But they wanted to picket, and now it's like, oh, it raised property prices. So now it's cool.
Well, and the other thing is the only way they were able to build that was to make it a multi-use facility. So those like condos that are right next door are part of it. And so that's like kind of like part of this like modern city planning is that like you have a business downstairs and then upstairs or shared on the property, there's living space.
Yeah. So they found the loophole.
Yeah, they did. Yep. And then I think they had found a loophole with the parking at first, but then they had to buy the park. Because that park was not.
They had to buy the park?
Well, that's their parking.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure. Like the
What about the
city's
next
not going
two?
to turn it.
Because there's like that, and then there's like overflow, and then I had to like go pick up the hot dog stand, and I parked at that very end, which I didn't even know. It was like a third one.
Yeah, that's like almost like a pullout for like a circle for that last little tiny park. That the only thing in that park is a bike trail right in the middle because people are too lazy to go on the bike trail, so they go right to the middle
To go to the bridge there?
Yeah, to the bridge. Yeah, I've never seen someone in that park, and I bike through that to get to work a lot.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, let's make some changes.
Yeah.
I don't know what that takes.
It definitely adds flavor to the neighborhood, and it makes the community tighter to have like, well, I mean, I have our baseball games down there. You know, I played at Abbott or Rabbit growing up, and we definitely had that community atmosphere. Like we met so many people and hung out there all day, but it was always a bummer for the parents. Cause like I'm biking down O'Malley Road to get to the game. And then all the parents have to drive. You know, we're lucky that we live in Turnagain where you can walk, you know, or ride your bike.
Oh, okay. But you still had that community up there.
Oh yeah, for sure. Baseball was definitely like that until we were like 13.
Yeah.
And then you start playing like inner city, and that kind of goes away after that.
Okay.
You know, the inner city league play.
Yeah.
You know, where you're going over to different parks.
Yeah. Well, I found it really cool. Mateo's played on basically a different team the last 4 years, where he started with like his group of friends from his school, and then I thought it was really cool that he's had different, because now he's making friends with all the kids in the same league, and we're making friends with like all the
their
parents in the
that's
same
cool.
league.
Yeah.
So it's like we know parents on every single team.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, okay, you live over here, you live over there, you live over there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's just like, it just builds that community even bigger.
Totally.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So do you make the All-Star team?
He's finding out. He thinks he didn't do that well, but he's just not as confident as I think he could be. But I didn't realize that there's like the 9-11 All-Star team, and then there's like the 12.
9 and 10, 11, 12, right?
I think it's I think they had the 12 separated.
Oh, wow.
From the other kids.
Okay.
And I didn't realize that a majority of the kids that he's been playing with are older.
Okay.
And because when you go and there's like 40 kids over there and only like 15 or whatever in his age group, and I was like, you probably made that.
Yeah, yeah.
But what a big difference like 11 to 12.
Oh,
Like the kids, like the
totally.
pitching and just like,
Yep.
you see some of these kids that are just like throwing heat. You're like, God, man,
Yeah,
this kid
yeah.
is just good.
Yeah.
Then you realize, okay, he's a year older.
Yeah.
You know, and every year when you're like 11 to 18 or 16 or whatever, the kid can grow like 6 inches,
Yeah.
you know, and just become so much stronger.
Yeah. I remember that going into like majors at 10 and hitting off 12-year-olds was way faster than when you move at 13 to the big fields. So then we'd move to the big fields at 13, and then you're just playing against 13-year-olds, and it was like slow pitch because the pitcher mound is whatever, 60 feet, I think.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
So when you go to the next level, what is the next level called?
Juniors.
Okay.
So yeah, you go juniors and seniors. So juniors,
Minors,
is
juniors, seniors?
minors, majors, but minors and majors are the same level typically.
Okay.
They're just the same age group, but minors will include more of the young ones, and then the less advanced, like older kids, and then majors will be like the most advanced 10 through 12-year-olds, and then you jump to juniors where everyone's back together and they're 13. And some leagues play 13, 14, 15, but most play 13. And then you go 14, 15 is majors or is seniors. And then 16, 17, 18 is big league.
Oh, big. So there is like, once you're in high school, there's like regular league.
There is, but like it depends what your high school coach says. Like our high school coach wouldn't let us play big league, which was really silly of him.
Yeah.
But
because this is separate, right? Because
Yeah,
that'd be in the summer versus during the school year.
they're like around the same time, but they don't interfere with each other. Like, because the big league coaches want the high school kids on the team, and they're like, it's okay if you miss practice.
Yeah.
You know, but you just get to play more. You get to see more balls. You get you know. So the kids that were able to play all, so and then after high school ends, there's Legion, which is it's not directly school related, but it's typically like a school still, like it's still like service. Legion. But
is that like the all-star of whatever?
It's just summer ball.
Oh, okay.
So we didn't play that growing up because then you miss like all hunting and fishing.
Yeah.
Basically, it's just all summer. So usually like the guys that I know close, some of our mutual friends that played Legion, they were like, oh man, I missed a lot of fishing.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that was one of the things I was like encouraging Mattel. I was like, well, if you don't make it, that just means we're going fishing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest. I was like, man, I kind of hope he doesn't.
Because it's on the weekend.
They're all on the weekend. It's
Right.
fucked, dude. And then Noah's soccer tournaments are all on the weekend. So I'm like, there goes 4 weekends, you know, at like prime time.
Totally.
I'm like, this is ridiculous.
That
That should
what-
be during the week.
That's what we ran into with hockey last fall. It was like, oh, suddenly they went from weekday play to you also have a weekend. So it was 3 days a week. And it was like, no, we're going skiing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So we had to just hang up the hockey skates for a little bit.
Yeah, that's good to do that. Then it just makes it like we're just having fun. There's no
Yeah.
like pressure to like
That's
in
right.
the tournament or whatever, you know.
Yeah. Every
it
day
gets-
walking down the field, it's like, what's baseball about? Having fun. What's
Yeah.
skiing about? Having fun. Like,
Yeah.
we're not.
And you see those parents out there. It's just like, man, relax, guy,
Totally.
relax. Or the mom. The
Yeah.
moms are just like super intense, like sport mom.
Yeah.
Who like must have played like, you know, softball college or something. And
Yeah.
it's just like, relax, lady. They're 10.
Yeah.
She's just yelling at them, and like she's got the counter and
Yeah,
shit, and
yeah,
like
yeah,
notes,
yeah.
and the
Scorekeeping.
camera.
Yeah,
She's always the scorekeeper. Like
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
even want to bust out her name, but
Yeah. We
like-
love you. We love you.
thanks for doing that because none of us want to do that.
So, you know, being the beer sponsor, cider sponsor of the team for the adults, I don't bring the kid snacks.
But you put the kids snacks in there too.
Yeah, I did have the kid snacks in there. Anyway, so usually it's just in like my little Patagonia backpack that I've had forever that you guys all know about. But I got an early Father's Day present. It's this Arctic 30 can, they call it, backpack. And it is legit. So it's pretty heavy duty, but it literally holds 30 cans of beer. So, I mean, we have tall boy ciders. I haven't maxed it out. I may bring 2 4-packs. But
Do you have to lay them this way,
no, you can. Oh,
or do they
fill
stand?
it?
Like what constitute the 30?
The 30 is 4 layers of 12 packs or whatever. Not
Oh,
12,
okay,
10.
okay.
straight up. 3 layers, 10 straight up.
What I noticed off the bat is the actual backpack part looks like heavy duty.
Oh, yeah,
like
it has
stitching
a hip
and
strap.
padding and like it's not just gonna like fall apart.
No, yeah, this is legit. This is next level for this cooler thing. So, and I think that this would like go shit. This could fit in my dry bag and load it up with ciders and get flown to Hawaii instead of the Yeti bag. This will hold way more.
Yeah, man, I'm conflicted on that Yeti. I have the Yeti 30 hopper, which is the magnet thing, which is cool. Yeah. It's better than the zipper because the problem is like people don't close the zipper all the way, but the magnet's like awesome because it snaps closed every single time. But then it's a fucking mission. You have to stick a cider in there sideways to like load it because every time you open it, like
it snaps.
It just snaps closed right away. So I literally have like a
it's
cider.
like a lingcod just grabbing you.
Yeah, I just stick it in there sideways so it like has the mouth open. Then I can like load it up. You know.
Yeah, that's funny that you have to do that.
Yeah.
So my zipper broke this year on my Yeti 30 or whatever it is.
Oh well, return it because they'll give you the offer to get, and that's what I got, that bag, or you can get like one like that. They give you like 4 things, like which one do you want.
You just send them an email or go customer
you send them
service?
an email with a picture of the damage, and if your zipper, all those zipper ones, they had to replace them all.
Oh, okay.
And they sent me a box to like put the old one in.
Oh, okay.
And then you choose what you want, and then literally like the next week they send you whatever one you chose.
I need to do that.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, I was super bummed.
Yeah, but that was like an initial flaw because to close that last little gap, it was like a kid couldn't do it. Like you have to like, so
really
anytime like the kids would get in there, they'd really have to yank it to get it out of there.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not happy, 100% happy with the magnet, which is good because it closes, but I'm like fucking nitpicking here.
Yeah.
I got to put the cider in there to load it.
yeah.
Or like a paint stick or something, you know?
That's funny,
and even
man.
to like dry it out, like I'll wipe it down at the end, but you have to like stick something in there.
You got to call it Jaws or something, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what's the next thing?
So I have one more dad question before we get rolling. Okay, so the kid's birthday's coming up. What is the advice on BB gun versus these airsoft guns?
Good question.
It's time for gun safety and shooting cans and stuff.
Really good question. I went BB gun with my boys, and I bought Carlos' daughters. I bought all the kids BB guns for Christmas.
That's right. Yeah.
They all got BB guns for Christmas.
Yeah.
And my thought process, because I look at the airsoft guns too, I thought that the BB gun seemed more realistic.
Yeah, it does.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It doesn't look like a toy.
Yeah.
So then when you're telling them like, this is not a toy.
Yeah.
You know, you could really hurt yourself. And then it just makes that transition when you get to a real rifle. And I don't know if the airsoft guns have like the actual sights, like the little hard iron sights on them and all that. And it's just like, it just seemed, and it had like the pump. So it just seemed like more realistic.
Yeah.
And maybe nostalgic.
Yeah, definitely nostalgic, like the Daisy or the Red Rider where it has the lever action.
Yeah.
That was like what I was dreaming of getting them. For sure.
But I will say, Noah's not strong enough to pump it.
Oh, really?
Because it takes at least 3 pumps.
Okay.
And even Mateo's barely able to, and he's 11, barely able to like, and you're worried that they're going to like cinch their finger in there.
So many times.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So Noah's not able to do it. So that is one like flaw, but yet maybe good. Like if you're not ready for it, you're just not ready for it.
Well,
you know?
I definitely don't. My kids aren't going to be allowed to shoot the gun without me, and it's going to be one at a time. So I don't mind like pumping it for them. Yeah, I got surprised because I had this like Daisy kind of like it's a single pump, so it doesn't shoot the same feet per second as like the pellet / BB guns that you're talking about, and it's like the one that I had when I was like 6 or whatever. Which definitely shot a window out in a car on accident, trying to shoot squirrels and getting yelled at by my dad in Casper, Wyoming. That was funny. But okay, I don't think I got it taken away. Maybe I did. But anyway, I still have that little BB gun at my dad's house. It's sweet. So I'm like set on this. And then like I had heard about the airsoft stuff, but I'm not paying attention. And so I went in to go get these Daisies. And then I saw them and I was like, well, maybe that's safer. you know, because it's like they're big, like 6 millimeter thing, you know, rubber. I'm sure they'd like knock a window out still.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Those are like hard little plastic things.
Right. So, yeah.
But it just looks toyish.
Yeah, they do.
It looks like a toy, so it
Yeah.
just seems like you're got another Nerf gun.
Right.
That could actually like break a window.
Yeah. The ones that I saw all look like ARs. There was like ARs and then an AK-47. I was like, where's the one that like looks like a regular rifle?
Oh,
and there
really?
wasn't one. But these like straight up look like ARs. And the cool thing about the ones I was looking at is that the stock was adjustable. So you could like adjust it, and it did have like regular sights because we're gonna get it for like target practice.
But is it like bright green or was it?
It was like
rifle
it looked like an AK or
it did.
or an AR.
The airsoft ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
The ones I saw, like I was at Cabela's. Yeah, like they all look. There was like a white AR and then a black AR.
Okay,
were like the ones.
I guess the only airsoft, my neighbor kid had one. It was a pistol, but it looked like it was like white and like green and like pink.
Yeah,
it just looked like a
toy.
Like a toy.
And that's not what you want.
Yeah.
There's also this new one that I heard about, which I'm not getting, which is way safer, and it's like I forget what they call it, but you know, like those like kind of like hand balls that you squeeze, the stress balls, and they're like really soft and like almost like water based. They make those tiny, like 6 millimeter size, and now they make guns that shoot those. So they're like, if you hit someone or it won't break a window.
Yeah.
But the problem with those is then they'll like really shoot each other.
Yeah.
And like we're trying to teach gun safety.
Right.
You know, like this whole thing is about like, this is how you're going to be able to like get a 22 when you're 8, you know?
Yep.
And if you can't illustrate like absolute gun safety, then you're going to have to wait.
Yeah. Does the airsoft have like the safety?
That's a good question.
And
I'm
all
not
that?
sure. I should look at that.
Because the Daisy one, it was like set up almost exactly like the old 3030 is what it reminded me of. And it had the safety, had everything that like a regular rifle would have.
Right. Yep. It had mine had like the right above the trigger had a red for, you know, red, black.
A little button there.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great question. I'm not sure. I hope that whatever one I get does have that.
Yeah. And I think you could actually use it to like, if you were going to go like maybe get a rabbit or something, you could pump that thing up to 10 and it will take out something like that.
An airsoft?
No, the BB gun.
No, the BB gun. Yeah, for sure.
And what's cool is the BB or pellet.
Yeah.
So you could do either or.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's the pellets.
The pellet's better.
The pellet's better.
Yeah. The shape, and you can get them heavier.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're actually going to like want to put a small animal down,
Yeah.
you're going to go pellet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They wanted to bring them to the Kenai last weekend. I was like,
All the
I don't know,
rafts
man.
floating around.
Yeah, you're gonna be running around in the woods shooting these
got
things.
your
Like, what is the
batch
guy?
kit.
Some guys fishing back there.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
like I was like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But on the dad thing, I took Noah. He's got his first bow lesson tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
I went and talked to
Fun.
Dave at Full Crow Archery. So we're doing the dual lesson
Yes.
tomorrow. Me and him tomorrow morning at 10:30.
That's cool.
Because he wanted one for his birthday, and
his
Danika-
birthday's tomorrow, right?
His birthday's tomorrow. My youngest is not. I mean, loves going fishing and camping and stuff, but he's not the biggest outdoors kid. Like my oldest son loves fishing. Like he's like in love with it. The younger one just kind of goes. He has fun camping and rafting and, you know, having fun out there by the fire. But he's not like super, he's never showed any interest in like wanting to go hunting or anything like that. So he took me by surprise when like 2 months ago, he's like, I want a bow and arrow for my birthday. And I'm like, okay. But he just wants to do, he's like, I heard there's like competitions and like he wants one of the things in the backyard. He's like showing me where he's going to put all this before he even went, we ever even went there. He's never shot a bow ever. I've never shot a bow ever. And so we went there and we're like this morning we went I'm thinking naively like, oh, we're just going to get you a bow.
Yeah.
But I go in there and I talk to Dave and he's like, oh, well, yeah, I normally want to have a lesson. I was like, oh, yeah, that makes actually a lot of sense, you know, and fit them and all this stuff. And so like we got that all set up. But my son had already like wants to know. He already had a place where he's going to put the target and all this stuff. He's like, I could do it right here in the backyard. I was like, yeah. He's like, and then I could take it on the Kenai. He's like thinking about, because he's not into fishing.
Yeah.
But he's thinking he could take his little thing out there, his target, and just boat, which I was like, okay, that's cool. That's like not a BB gun. You know what I'm saying? You might miss, like, but you're not going to shoot someone rafting by.
Right. That's an awesome idea.
So like that'd be perfect for a little like some kid to do that in the Kenai.
Does he want to go compound or?
Well, he didn't know. Well, initially, in his mind, he thought a bow and arrow was like made out of wood.
Yeah.
And like trad bow. But when we walked in there, all the trad bows are in the back.
Yeah.
So all he saw was a compound. He's like, oh, those are the bows. And I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, I was thinking like a long wood one.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, like a trad bow. And then Dave took him to the back to show, and he's just like, oh. But he'd never even like conceptualized the other one.
Yeah.
So then he goes back and looks at the other one, and you can just see his little mind clicking. He's like, oh, that one looks like it has the wheels and like better, you know?
Yeah.
So tomorrow he's going to try them all out and just see what he wants to do.
That's cool.
The trad bow or longbow is probably going to be easier, but those will be hard for him to pull back, but I think they'd be way more fun as a kid. You know,
well, that's what Dave was saying. He's like, it's harder because you're actually holding whatever 13 pounds or whatever it is versus 3 pounds at a 20-pound bow. But he said they have a lot more fun with it. Yeah. But I guess it's probably a lot easier to go from trad to.
If you can shoot a trad bow, it'd be like learning how to pitch, you know, before you throw a baseball. Like you already have like this motion down and this instinct where like it's 100% instinctual. The longbow, like you don't have sights.
Yeah.
Where shooting the compound bow is more of like a systematic process. Like follow these steps and then it's going to get there. So, like, I think that people that can shoot a trad bow are probably better in terms of, like, instinct, you know?
Yeah, it almost seemed like Dave wanted to start him off with that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to let him just try him out and just decide, like, what he wants to do.
Yeah.
And, with him, he's like, oh, I like this orange one. Yeah. He wants whatever the color, whatever one looks cool, So we'll see.
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You can have fun. So you're going to get a bow too?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Nice.
No. Yeah, I plan to go and just do it. Like, that's going to be me and his thing.
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
So I was in there like a kid in a can because I had never even been in there either.
Yeah, the place is awesome.
And I'm just looking at them all, and I'm like, oh, man, that's cool. And I'm excited. I'm like more excited than he is.
Pumped,
I was kind of bummed because he was like totally expecting to come home today with the bow. But I was like, this is even cooler. Like now we're gonna get to go do the lessons. And then I started telling him like, there's like competitions. He's like, oh, there's other kids. And then he's like, who's the best kid in Alaska? And I was telling him how Brandon's daughter has a bow, and he's like, what?
Yeah.
He's like, is it pink?
Oh,
because he knows that's like her favorite. I was like, actually it is pink. So he's just like super stoked for this new like outdoor thing that he loves to do. And it's kind of cool because Big Brother didn't come, and it's like his own little, because Mateo is so into fishing and like fly fishing and ice fishing. He's like obsessed, where Noah could care less. Like he doesn't even want to go. But this is like something that he could do while we're fishing, even in the winter, ice fishing or whatever. And I was like, man, that's just so cool that he came to it on his own.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
So I'm excited. I don't know how excited Mom is about it all, but whatever, we're going to do it. Well, welcome to Alaska Wild Project episode 69. Today, that was a long intro, guys. Sorry. We have Danika Baldwin here, Girl in Alaska.
Yes. Hello. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. At Girl in Alaska, that's the Instagram, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Good. And all my social media handles.
And all the social media.
How'd you come up with that?
I actually did sit down for a little while and I tried to think of some clever names, and it's just a fact. I'm a girl in Alaska, exploring Alaska. So it was simple, and it just stuck. It used to be Danika, Alaska.
Okay.
And then I kind of switched it to Girl in Alaska.
Now it was because noticing it says girl in Alaska?
Yes.
Was girl in Alaska all one word taken?
It's taken.
No way.
By a girl who doesn't even use it.
Oh, it's the
Have you tried to
worst.
contact her?
No, I haven't. I probably should, but yeah, so I had to add the periods, yeah.
That's funny. I went to put in my name, thinking
No one will have that.
Daniel Buitrago. Who the fuck has that?
Yeah.
There's 50 of us.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Who are these people? So I couldn't even get my own name. I had to do whatever it is mine is. But it was just funny. And even the YouTube, because before Alaska Wild Project, I was doing stuff.
Yeah.
And I just had my name.
Yeah.
And then you go, and there's some famous Ecuadorian soccer player
Oh, nice.
with the same name. I'm like, this guy, man, he's
You need
getting
to
all
get
my
his
shine.
jersey, dude.
Yeah, that's what I should do.
Send him your Air
He's not from
Burrito jersey.
Yeah, he's not from Colombia. I can't do that. My dad would kill me.
Yeah.
Okay, Danika. Well, let's jump right into it. Actually, before we jump in, let's give a quick shout out to the sponsors really quick, and then we're going to come back with all the questions.
Barney Sports Chalet, supplying hunters with the best hand-selected gear since 1963. Barney specializes in supplying hunters with the absolute best Alaskan-proven gear on the market for some of nature's most rugged and demanding terrain. Whether you're headed to the remote volcanic islands of the Alaska Peninsula in search of a brown bear, or the shale-infested glacial valleys of the Brooks Range for Dall sheep, it is critical you choose the right gear for your dream hunt. Don't miss Barney's exclusive brand, Frontier Gear of Alaska, tested from the high mountains of Tajikistan to the extreme conditions of Alaska. These products were designed for high performance and durability. Frontier Gear was derived from decades of experience hunting big game in Alaska. Paired with other top brands, it provides you the absolute best gear selection anywhere in the world. Stop in at Barney Sports Chalet in Anchorage on Northern Lights or check out their custom website and reference tool at barneysports.com.
Arbor Capital. Arbor Capital is based in Anchorage, Alaska, and it's your go-to wealth management company. Arbor Capital is at the forefront of digital assets and cryptocurrencies. If you've been looking to invest your hard-earned money, or you just want to learn more about crypto, blockchain technology, or digital investments, give their website arborcapital.io a visit. What's great about Arbor is they provide a low-cost, transparent, research-based investment strategy for digital assets and traditional investments as well. Arborcapital.io is your first step in putting your money to work. Let one of Arbor's investment professionals walk you through your options for financial growth and security. Start investing for the future today at arborcapital.io. Arbor Capital, your Alaska digital asset company.
Total Truck and Alaska Overlander, Alaska's premier supplier for custom automotive accessories and overlanding products, providing all-inclusive rental vehicles and trailers custom outfitted to explore the Alaskan backcountry with a unique and convenient traveling experience. At Total Truck, you can find brands such as ARE, RSI Smart Caps, Goose Gear, iCamper, Front Runner, Rigid Lights, Rhino Linings bed liners, and everything you need to outfit your truck or SUV. Alaska Overlander provides 4x4 vehicles and expedition trailers, custom modified for Alaskan adventures and outfitted with rooftop tents, fridges, and all the camping and cooking gear you need to start exploring. Visit them at alaskaoverlander.com.
Just a really quick story here talking about Danika here. I was telling my wife at the baseball game. She normally asks me who's coming on the podcast, and normally it's she doesn't know who the fuck it is. She's like, I don't know who that is. And then this time she's like, she didn't mention anything. She's like, oh, you got girl in Alaska coming on the thing. She's like, I know who she is. And then she's like, all the girls at the school, or not the school, at work, or oh, you got Danika from Girl in Alaska. They're all big fans of her. And I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, I just know Danika from the bank. Because you used to work at the bank when I used to have my hot dog stand outside in front of Conoco.
Yep.
And you worked in the bank. And, of course, I come in there every day smelling like hot dogs.
And I was a regular hot dog customer.
Yeah. So a little history there. That's funny. Let's actually jump into your history as far as you growing up in Alaska and some of the things that got you to where you are now, in love with all these outdoor things that you're doing. Was your dad taking you out there? Walk us through what's...
Yeah. So I wasn't born in Alaska. I was actually born in California.
Oh, where in California?
Bellflower.
Oh, okay.
My mom's from Long Beach. Both my parents were, so they were kind of beach bums. And my dad's mom at the time actually owned the Seaview Cafe in Hope.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so she needed help running the cafe one summer, and my parents just packed up and we drove from California to Alaska, and my dad became the cook, and my mom was the waitress, and we lived in like a tiny little cabin. It's still standing today.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so, yeah, I moved to Hope when I was 4 and spent a couple years there. My parents actually split up then, and then I ended up moving to Girdwood. So I lived in Girdwood 1st through 5th grade, spent a lot of time there. I still have tons of friends from there. I have a lot of like memories from Girdwood and stuff. So that was really good times.
Were you skiing?
Yeah, I used to snowboard.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't do it too much anymore. But it was PE. We would go to Alyeska.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, and at that time, my
That
mom,
was actual PE?
Yes. Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we would walk there and go. And then my mom actually used to work at the hotel. She worked in the gift shop. And so a lot of history there. I spent a lot of time at the Alyeska Hotel and in the swimming pool and stuff like that. And then ended up moving to Anchorage. So I spent 6th, 7th, 8th, and then all of high school in Anchorage, went to college in Anchorage. And after that, I've kind of been all over South Central Alaska. So I ended up moving to Wasilla, lived there for a couple of years, and then kind of transitioned to the Kenai Peninsula. And on the peninsula, I've lived in Nikiski, Kenai, and Soldotna, kind of all over as well. And Soldotna is currently where I'm at. I've been there this will be my 9th year, so I've been away from Anchorage for quite a while. Yeah, it's weird. I come back to Anchorage and I have to pull out my Google Maps.
That's so awesome. Different now.
Yeah, especially if I'm going to like a new restaurant or somewhere and there's all these new roads and things like that. And so it's just funny to me how so much has changed. And then, so I haven't always been into the outdoors. I used to go to California every summer when I was younger. And so I was definitely more of like a little city girl, beach girl. Yeah. I've definitely always loved the outdoors, but neither of my parents really exposed me to it either. Living in Hope, there was a ton of people like fishing all the time and stuff. And so my dad would occasionally take us to do that, but he was definitely still learning himself as well and didn't really know much either. And so, I didn't really get into the outdoors, I would say, until I was with like a former partner. And we would, we kind of got more into the outdoors ourselves because both of our parents really never, exposed us to it. And so that's kind of where it started. So it was with the boy. And just kind of transitioned there. I started doing more stuff outdoors, kind of got more into like fishing and stuff like that. And again, I wasn't like a pro or anything, and I'm still not. But then I kind of started flying. That kind of happened with an ex as well. And so got into flying more and got into fishing more. And then I got into hunting, and it's just kind of evolved over the last, 8 to 10 years.
So really as an adult?
Correct. Yep. Yeah. Yep. Not in high school or anything like that. So mostly.
Which is, I want to say it's more normal than not.
Yeah.
With a lot of my friends, I had friends who never caught a fish and never went out and did the things that like my parents would, my dad, I should say more specifically, would take us out. Like they'd never been on an ATV trip, never been on a float trip, never been on any of these things, even, growing up.
Yeah.
And there's actually a lot of kids out there, and being in the school district, I find that, living in the east side, a lot of those kids never leave their neighborhood.
No,
what I'm saying? They've never gonna do any of these things, whether it's because finances or their parents just don't know what to do. Right. So it's actually more common than not. You think you grew up in Alaska, you grew up doing all this stuff, but that's not always true.
No, I meet tons of people even now that, they're seeing everything I'm doing and they're just like, this is so inspiring because I've never done any of this stuff and I've lived here my entire life, Oh, yeah. And so that's kind of where I'm at right now too, is like, I'm very outgoing. I love trying new things. And so the more I learn about the outdoors and fishing, flying, hunting, and all these like Alaskan things, the more like addicted I'm getting, and the more I want to try, and the more I want to do and see, and the more I want to share, and share my experiences with everyone, and not just the good things, but the stuff that I learned along the way too, and kind of help people in that way and kind of inspire them to kind of get out and learn more and do more.
Do you find that there's way more stuff going on than you ever thought.
Oh, yes. Yeah, there are so many just really cool locally owned family businesses I found, I think. With I think that's the biggest thing I found is with working with all these Alaskan companies. And, you know, a lot of them reach out to me. And so it's like I've never really heard about their business until they reached out to me. And then I come and I do like a collaboration with them and I learn more about it. And, you know, like when I met you and stuff, you know, it was like I didn't even know that your place existed. And so learning more about that.
Double Shovel, you didn't know Double
I didn't know. I knew Double Shovel, but local greens, you know. So totally knew Double Shovel, but I didn't even know you guys did that. And so just numerous businesses. I went to a really cool family-owned gold store downtown Alaska Mint. Really nice family. They've been there for over 30 years. And I can't tell you how many times I've walked past that building and never walked in it. And just to go in there and learn the history and everything that they've been doing and everything they have going on in there, it's really cool. So
it's cool that you're sharing that, you know, because there's so many, like you said, there's all these businesses that have this story.
Yeah.
But they don't have the time or the skills or the thought to like get the content out there and be like, hey, this is what we're about.
Yeah. Because it's not like I'm not sharing anything that's like a surprise. You know what I mean? Like they could easily look up your website and learn that information that I'm posting in a reel or whatever. But I think it's the way I'm presenting it and I'm trying to make it relatable and I'm trying to show you like a real behind the scenes experience, not something you're going to see on like a website or a commercial or things like that.
Yeah. Well, a lot of those old like Alaska businesses are really stuck in old school tradition style where they're just been at their location or their lodge or whatever for so long, never really needed to advertise other than, you know, the daily news or whatever, the radio maybe.
Or if they do, it's radio or print or something like that.
Yeah, and it's like now you have these older business owners that can't really wade through the weeds of social media or they just don't have the time to do it. But they're smart enough to know, like, I know someone that is actually doing it really good, and we could bring her in to do that. And like speaking about the Mint, Alaska Mint, like they got the son, because I played hockey with the mom and the dad a long time ago. And that's the boys, right? That are pretty much running the stuff. Because it's funny because I reached out. Mike, I want to say, is the main guy. Was it Mike?
I didn't meet. Yes, Mike. Sorry,
the dad, right? I think he's the dad. And I reached out to him because I knew him from hockey, and I was like, "Hey, man, we want to have you on the podcast." He's like, "Oh, I don't even really know what that is." He's like, "But I'll send the twins over or one of the boys over there." I think they're twins. I don't know if they look like twins.
They do. Okay. I met with Gunner.
Okay, and I was like, "Okay, that's probably actually a better idea. Why don't you have him come in?" And we've been trying to get him to come in.
Oh yeah, you totally should. Yeah. They're so knowledgeable just about everything that they're doing. It's really cool.
And they've been there for forever, ever.
Yeah, and they're like the only people doing what they're doing, like minting gold coins still. And I didn't realize how big of like a collector's thing it was and like a thing in Alaska. Like they mint a new Iditarod coin every year, a new Alaska coin every year. And so it's very... There's like coin collectors out there. It's like a thing.
Well, it's like the Iditarod pin.
Right.
Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
It's like right up that same alley. Yeah, those guys have been around for a long time. It's so cool. And there's hundreds of them of old Alaskan villages, or not villages, but businesses and things related to that, whether it's a fishing guide or a lodge or
Airbnbs now, like charters, tours, everything. Yeah, small local businesses, mom and pop shops, people that are just strictly online. There's a lot of businesses that formed out of COVID.
Right.
And so there's a lot.
I almost see like things that you're doing is almost like the bridge, because sure, you can build a website, which is obvious, or you can build or have your own Facebook or Instagram page. But if you don't have people that are looking for it or don't have the followers to actually look for it, like it's just going to be in that void of the internet. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, oh, you have a website, but no one knows it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
how do people find that website?
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
Unless you're paying for Google ads and things like that. It's like, how do you even compete?
Yes.
So
I feel like you're like that bridge to bring basically these old Alaskan or new Alaska businesses into the limelight of people that are like searching for these cool things.
Yeah. This influencer marketing, it's, you know, it's very popular in the lower 48. Obviously, we get everything kind of late to Alaska, but I do think that local businesses are actually starting to see the value in it, you know, of the influencer marketing world. And it's social media is free. It's a free platform. Why not take advantage of it and use it? And, you know, the demographic of my followers is like ages 25 to 44. They're travelers. They're people wanting to do like adventurous, thrilling things because it's what I'm doing, you know? And it's like, I have a more targeted market. And so, you know, you throw out a radio ad hoping that you're going to get a hit. You put something on my page. Well, these people are specifically looking for that content, specifically looking for something to do. So the chances of, you know, the eyes seeing it on my page are a lot higher than on the radio ad.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that 100%.
Are you doing like paid sponsored ads when you do them, or the promotions? I mean,
yeah. So right now, as far as I do several different things on social media. So one aspect of it is the local business collaborations, and that's where I work with local businesses in Alaska to just generate more, you know, brand awareness, bring more attention to their business, also bring more attention to the city that they're in as well. Like I went to Skagway, for instance, and did a collaboration with a company there called Ocean Raft Alaska, and so that's one aspect of it. So they provide it's like a super fast raft on the water, and it goes really fast, and they do donuts out in the ocean. So they're kind of like the only people in Alaska doing it. And
so it's motorized?
Yep, motorized. They have custom built boats that seat like 25 people. They've got these seats that you like straddle, and there's like an bar right here. Yeah. And little foot pegs, and I mean, it's fun. Yeah. And then on top of that, you're getting like a wildlife cruise out of it too, because we saw seals and sea lions, and they sometimes get whales out there, but you know, bald eagles and things like that.
Waterfalls everywhere.
Yeah, huge waterfalls, so many waterfalls. So that's one aspect of what I'm doing, is working with local businesses in that way. And that can be completely custom and tailored to whatever they need from me. Whether you want me to make a reel, do you want me to come in and just take photos? Do you want me to, you know, put something on my story and things like that? And then I have the travel planning, and then also Instagram now pays content creators too. So I do get paid from Instagram.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
How's that work?
It's based off plays. So you get like a monthly goal. And so if you hit X amount of plays, then you get like your max monthly goal, but you also keep what you earn. So if I don't hit the max, I still can earn, you know, X amount of dollars. But they're paying creators all the way up to $35,000 a month.
Oh, so wow.
Yeah.
And so that idea for them is that more people are using their platform.
Yeah, so
it keeps them real,
they're trying
relevant.
to compete with TikTok. You know, everyone's on TikTok. It's a video-based app, and so when you're on TikTok, you're typically staying on their app longer because you're watching videos, whereas on Instagram, you know, you might not be on it as long because you're looking at pictures and other things and a combination of other things. And so yeah, Instagram's trying to compete with TikTok. That's why Reels are super popular right now. That's why if you post like a regular photo right now, it doesn't do as well as if you post a video, because that's just the content that Instagram is trying to push.
Yeah, their algorithms or whatever.
They know that when you go onto TikTok, you are going to smile or laugh. And so it's going to keep you on their app because it's very entertaining. Yeah. However, it is there's really different platforms. I feel, this is just my personal opinion, but I feel like TikTok is a younger demographic. And it's not as personable as Instagram. I feel like Instagram is it's a very nosy app. Like, people want to know what you're doing on a daily basis. And so if you're not showing them what you're doing on a daily basis, the chances are they're probably not going to want to follow you and stay tuned into what you're doing every day.
Yeah. I almost look at it like Facebook's for the older people. Yeah. Instagram's like our age. And then TikTok's like the younger kids.
Right. That's because how it is.
The other day, I want to say it was Barstool U or something like that. Like, they had something, and like they were at something about bars at night or day drinking at night, and they were at the hot dog stand, and like all these people were blowing me up, and like, oh, you guys, and I was telling you, I was like, this thing's viral, crazy. It's like 1 million something views on TikTok, and I'm like, oh, I don't even know like how to get on it. I don't know anyone that's even on TikTok. I was like, Alexia, call one of your little girlfriends. Someone send it to me because I don't have access. I don't even know how to like look it up. I was like, I just felt so old. I was like, oh man.
I'm on TikTok, but I haven't really tapped into that market. I also don't spend enough time on it. Like I'm not posting consistently on it. With all of these social media apps, if you're not consistent, you won't grow, you won't do well. So Instagram alone is a full-time job for me. That's why I had to recently quit my full-time job so I could kind of pursue this online, because it is taking up so much of my time, and now it's actually starting to generate enough income to where I can quit my job. So
So tell us like your Instagram story, and I'm not talking about an Instagram story.
Right. Yeah. So it started off kind of as a flying page. I was documenting and sharing my personal experience with getting my private pilot's license. And my goal was to really, and also I was sharing my Alaskan experiences, like fishing, going hunting, and doing things like that. But my goal was really to not only like share my journey and inspire others, but I really wanted to inspire girls to want to pursue aviation, and to make it not seem as scary, or, you know what I mean, like as unapproachable. Or I wanted to kind of break down those barriers and kind of help women feel more confident, and maybe try to pursue something that like the boys typically do. Yeah. And so that's kind of how it started out. And Reels came out. It was August, a year and a half ago now, and so I kind of jumped on that.
It's that recent?
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Yeah, it just had its 1 year birthday last August. So this will be 2 years this year.
I'm still trying to figure out how to do those.
Yeah, so I jumped on that Reels bandwagon, and I started creating just short form video content.
So like how many followers would you have had before Reel?
So I had probably maybe like 4,000 or 5,000.
Yeah.
And that was in August.
Yeah, okay.
And then I started posting Reels. I wasn't super consistent. It was winter time. There's really not, it's hard to get content in the winter and make it cool. And so once that next summer hit, I was flying more and posting more, and my page really started to take off. I hit 10,000 followers in August, and I went to like 30,000 in 3 months. Yeah. And so it was this dramatic like increase in followers, and I started kind of switching gears. I started changing more from like an aviation page to more of just like an Alaska page in general. I've taken like Instagram courses and Reels courses and things like that. And there's, I started looking up like searchable keywords, and I found that Alaska it's much more searched than aviation is. And so I kind of decided, do I want to be an aviation page, or do I want to be an Alaska page? Like I need to like kind of niche down, because if I'm all over the place, it's just going to be hard. You're going to have people that want to follow you for flying, but don't really care about the Alaska content. And so then they're going to unfollow you. And so I had to niche down, and I just decided, I said, Alaska is more, it's broader. I can talk about more, and I can still talk about my flying. It just won't be the main focus. So I started making, I guess, funny videos, like making fun of Alaska life and hard winters, and fishing humor and hunting humor and things like that. And that's kind of when it took off. And within that, I started just kind of sharing more like hiking and places to go and things to do. And I started sharing more, when I was at a restaurant, I had good food, I would like post about it, and I'd be like, check out this restaurant. It's locally owned and operated. The family here is super cool. They've been in Soldotna since blah, 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 blah. Started to see that, those businesses were really appreciative of that, and they would reshare my post. And so now all of their followers are now seeing my post. And so it was just kind of I got a lot of like reshares. And it was like, I'm supporting you, and in turn you support me, and then we both kind of benefit from it. And so then I started getting a lot of the same questions about Alaska, like, oh, I see you live in Soldotna, like, where's the best places to eat? What are the best things to do? Hey, what's the best fishing charter in Homer? Like tons of the same questions. And so I was spending a lot of time answering people and answering DMs, and I was talking with friends and things like that, and I started to see like a need for some type of travel planning assistance. Like I don't want to be this like stuffy travel planner, you know what I mean? Like I want to be like that fun point of contact that you have in Alaska that's like here to show you a good time. And so from that, I started saying, I need to start getting paid for my time, because it is taking me quite a while to write some of these people back. They were writing me like, huge paragraphs.
And you don't want to be rude and like not answer them
exactly.
back.
I totally want to be helpful, but there were days where I just wouldn't answer DMs because I'm like, I know that's going to take me like an hour just to respond to all those people. And so I was like, why don't I start doing like phone consultations where people can just kind of pick my brain for, and I started at an hour and I recently went down to 45 minutes. And so I started advertising it and it just kind of like took off. And with some of the people that I was talking to, they, after the phone call, they were just like, can you just like plan our trip? And I was like, yeah, I could do that, And so from that came another package. So it's like you can either do a phone consult with me where you kind of want to plan your own trip, but you just want ideas and like my local knowledge and advice. Or I can work with you like one-on-one and I can actually help you plan your entire trip. And so with that, it's a little more expensive, obviously, because it's a lot more time on my end. But then, now we're like texting back and forth daily. We're talking about ideas. I'm making sure that you booked all your stuff and making sure that you're, getting in with the right tours and the right contacts and things like that. So that's kind of how that started.
I think what's really cool about it, and I got your site up there on the TV, like the amount of money that people spend to have their trip of a lifetime in Alaska. And not to dog some of these big companies, whether it be, Princess Tours or any of these big things that have these very set itineraries for people where they cannot go out of bounds.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to a lot of people, including myself, and I know Jack and Brandon as well, like if I'm going to go visit a place, I am 100% not trying to do any of those like within the boundaries things. Like I'm trying to go to like where the locals go. I'm trying to get like to the beach where like I'm not going to see the average tourist person or whatever it be. So I think offering those type of like off the beaten path still kind of like
we had talked about we don't want to give away all our Alaskan secrets, you know what I mean?
Yes.
But yeah, it's like I'm kind of helping you sort out all the information that you can find on Google because it's a lot. You look up Alaskan things to do. And like I said, the paid ads come up first and the people that are paying to show up on Google are coming up first. And you're not seeing some of these smaller tour companies, that could probably give you, I don't want to say a better experience, but maybe a more intimate, more personal experience. And so I'm kind of being that person for you that's like sifting through all that nonsense and telling you, hey, this is the good stuff to do. So, and it's my personal opinion, you might not think that a restaurant I think is bomb, but like I said, the people that are following me are pretty similar to me, you know what I mean? Like they're thrill seekers, they like good food, they like clean Airbnbs and good customer service. That's kind of what I look for when I share these things with people.
And it could be as simple as like, I'm downtown with tours all the time. So I'm getting asked things like they're going to Seward for the glacier tour and there's like 3 different companies and they're like, well, what's the difference between these? And I can be like, well, the reason this one's more expensive is because their boat's a little bit nicer, but you're going to the same exact spot.
Exactly.
And for me personally, I would rather go on this one because there's 60 people versus 240 people, and you're going to get a more intimate spot, a more intimate trip, and you're going to be on the rail. Whereas like there's 140 people, you're going to be in the back. You're going to be like looking over someone's shoulder to like look at the same thing, and you'll see the other boat go by, and it's a beautiful boat. But you're at the same exact spot, for a lot less. So it depends. Like, do you want to be bougie or do you want to be at the same spot?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And save a little bit of money so you can go to that other restaurant.
And I have, travelers that want to be a little more bougie, but then they want to go a little more remote. And so I can definitely help anyone. So whatever style of Alaska you want to see, I can help you with that.
What's the craziest trip you plan for someone? Most extravagant or remote, or
I'd say like the biggest one was I planned a trip for a family of 5 and they are driving to Alaska. They converted a Sprinter van, I think, into like living area. And so they've got their 3 kids with them. And so, it was they want to go all over. And so it was a really long trip that I had to plan out. We had to think about logistics and if, they want to put their car back on the ferry and leave out of Haines and all these things. And so that one was fun. And then 2, just, figuring out fun stuff for the kids to do so that they're not bored and stuff like that. And so that would probably be like my biggest, funnest one, I guess. I've got a group of girls coming from Hawaii. They're a fun little group,
I
but
bet.
they just wanted to know where all the bars and the dispensaries were.
Not the waves, huh? You send them to Kodiak.
They got enough waves over there.
Stop at double single.
They're trying to see where the boys
I'm
are
like
at.
writing out their itinerary. I'm like, this is a first. Super
that's
sweet
great.
girls.
You send
mean-
them to the treehouse, of course, right?
Oh, yeah,
The treehouse.
The treehouse, AK, located at 341 Barnaface.
I love that. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fun.
So,
I mean,
yeah.
nothing bad against like those super rigid tours, because
Right.
some people, that's for some people, you know, whether
Some people want that.
Some people want
Yep.
that, and maybe it's a maybe you don't have the ability to hike it. Maybe you have a handicap, or
Right.
you have
Yep.
something where like you want it to be super rigid, and some people like to know exactly what time they're going to be.
And those tours are a little more guided and a little more, they're teaching you a little bit more about the history and things like that. And so it's like some people want more of that, but then some people just want to explore on their own and
Yeah.
kind of learn that stuff on their own.
Yep. Yeah.
Like when I went to Skagway, I didn't have a guide or anything, but I'm sitting there like exploring the area on my own. And I see this like thing sticking out in the water, and I'm like, what the heck is that? And then I'm walking around town, and finally I find a sign. It's like a fish ladder to help the salmon get up the stream from the ocean.
okay.
But, it was cool. It was like I found out the answer on my own, you
Yes.
know, and it just made it, I don't know, felt better.
Yeah. And people that come up and like I see a ton of people that are on those super rigid ones, because they come on the bus from the cruise boat, and they have
Right.
2 hours in Anchorage.
Yep.
And they're like, what can we do? And then they're always planning on coming back, but when they're going to come back, their plan is to do the opposite of that. They're going to rent a motorhome or rent a van or overlander or something like that, so that they can spend more time. And I think that's what's so cool if you go that route.
Yeah.
If you find a place that you really like, you can be there for more than 2 hours.
Totally.
Yeah.
And you could just stay there the whole time if you want to,
Yep.
versus like next stop. So like, pinpointed.
I get why people do the cruise thing, so you can see more cities at once, especially like in Southeast Alaska, where it's a lot harder to get to those cities. But yeah, I want to spend more time in those cities and get a chance to really like meet the locals and kind of, like you said, experience more of the local vibes and not so much of the tourism aspect of it.
Yeah.
It's really hard to get into the head of like some of the tourists. And I think Daniel can really associate with me on this, but as an Alaskan, like I don't want to see towns.
Right.
I want to get out and experience what Alaska is about. And
Yeah.
it's about being outside.
Yeah.
And what kills me about the cruise is that you're just cruising up coastline. And coastline is just one tiny aspect.
One little aspect, yeah.
And the coastline they're traveling is all similar. It's all rainforest.
Yep.
And it's gorgeous, but it's all kind of similar.
It
And
looks
so
the same, yeah.
it's not even like different types of coastline like we have on Western Alaska, or like, there's no cruises on the Western Alaska, of course, or the North Slope, totally different. And you probably wouldn't want to cruise there anyway. But that's just the coastline. Like what about
Right.
all these unique features we have inside in the interior, mid coast? Like just Anchorage is so much different than Whittier, which
Totally.
is, so it really bums me out a little bit, but also it's like, it's really hard for me to associate with people that just want to go on a cruise and stop at cities.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of people that I've planned second trips to Alaska for, they tell me, yeah, we did a cruise the first time, but we really want to see it on our own this time.
Yeah.
Yep. And so I always recommend, first time to Alaska, start in Anchorage, go north and south if you have the time. If not, if you only have 7 days, I recommend going south. I just think there's more to see and do within the time frame that you have.
Yeah.
And then now that I've been to Southeast Alaska, I would definitely recommend that on like a second trip to Alaska.
Yeah.
It's
Southeast
beautiful.
is
It was
gorgeous.
beautiful.
And a rich history.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Another thing I tell them too is like, I've lived here my whole life and I still haven't seen all the things I want to see.
Totally.
I have an Alaska bucket list. Like there are
Yeah.
cities I am checking off that I want to see and explore. And I've lived here for 30 years. And it's crazy. Like I just started doing this.
Yeah.
I've explored, like I said, around the peninsula and north and things like that. But seeing more of the west side and the east side, that's definitely like my goal.
What would you say is like a nightmare situation?
In terms of
someone coming up, you plan something and it just like crashed and burned. Or maybe it hasn't happened, but in the back of your mind, you're like, man, I hope that this goes legit or it goes right.
Or they have like a bad experience. The only thing I ever worry about is fishing, because people have different expectations.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You have some clients that get it. We're fishing here. Like, it's not guaranteed. Yeah. But then, and I don't feel like I've really worked with anyone just yet that I think would have that negative reaction if they didn't catch fish. But that's kind of a fear that I had, is recommending a tour or something and them not having a good time, or them maybe seeing it on my page and kind of comparing it to their experience.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like I'm fun. I like to laugh. I like to smile. I like to show that. And so if you don't have as good of a time, or I don't know, maybe it just didn't look as cool as I made it look.
Yeah. I mean, I could see you, like, you know, you're out on a sunny day nailing reds or on the Kenai, and then, you know, they miss it by a couple of days, so it's not as hot. And then, like, you know, you got to know how to fish to catch a lot of fish. Right. And so you don't have that. Then it's a rainy ass day. Yeah. Like, people get cold and wet. Going to Skagway, it was, and Juneau, it was 80 degrees like the whole time we were there. And so everyone I met with, they're like, this is kind of false advertisement. It's never this nice. Yeah, totally. So like all my footage, it just looks beautiful. Yeah.
Well, I feel bad for the people that, you know, save up their whole life to go see Denali. Yes. And they can't see it. Yeah. It's cloudy. I'm pretty torn over that. Like I have personal opinions on that. I am so against my clients going and doing like the bus route experience. I just don't think you should see Denali from the ground. I think you should take a flight over Denali and experience it that way. And you actually get to land on it. And I don't know. Then you get to see it for sure. Yeah, for sure. Whereas like you spend that time and money going all the way out there with the chances of you not even seeing it. Right. And in the grand scheme of things, like, it's a mountain. We have mountains everywhere. We have beautiful mountains everywhere. But you do have those people where, like, you know, the national parks are like a huge bucket list item for them. Yes. Yep. And so you get a little stamp. It's really popular. It is crazy. I'm learning that, like, I have people, 2 aunts that have nailed them. Really? They're all like in competition for these 2 new ones. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I have some clients that want to see like all our national parks, and they're like, I got a week. And I'm like, this is going to be a tight. Rent a beaver for a week. I'm like, you're going to literally go boop, land in each one and leave. So a lot of my initial phone call with these people is really to just like educating them on, you know, logistics and traveling around Alaska. A lot of people are like, I don't even know where to fly to, and I want to go here, and here, and I have 7 days, and it's like I have to explain all that to them. Maybe lower their expectations. Yeah, a little bit, like, you know, and I have to kind of say, like, we kind of have to maybe pick one or the other. Like, you can't do all of these places. You don't realize that this is like 400 miles away from the other place. Yeah. And so what I'll do then is I'll kind of briefly explain each city and what there is to do in each one. And then they kind of decide from there, okay, yeah, maybe let's just go to like these 2 places. Do you ever have to like relate like regionally, like, hey, oh, you're from New York? That would be like driving from New York to Florida. Yes. Yeah. Basically. Yeah. Like, do you want to be in the car and then they're just like, oh, like, yeah, we didn't even think about that. Blowing. You know? Yeah. So, it's or you have fun. Some people that just think we fly everywhere, and they're like, can we even rent a car? And I'm like, yes. Like, just dog musher. Yeah. Better rent it now for 3 years from now. Yes. Yeah. Seriously. Yeah. Seriously. Are you now recommending Toro? I am. Yeah. Yep. That's become pretty popular, and Go ahead. How about Toro, like for RVs and for like the pull behind trailers? I haven't done that, no, because I would recommend the guys downstairs. I worked with Alaska Overlander this weekend and took out one of their Toyota 4Runners with like the iCamper on top. It was super fun, really sick. So yeah, I'm going to be recommending stuff like that, because I have had a couple people, some younger clients that want to do, you know, the camping experience and really camp around Alaska and see it that way. Yeah. So that's a great alternative, because the couple groups that I have had come, they've had to rent all the gear. They've had to buy some stuff. I mean, I literally showed up with like my clothes and my toiletries. Like, they provided everything at Alaska Overlander, so that was super helpful. And then they have the pool trailers as well that they offer, which I haven't done that yet, but that sounds like to me, like a better alternative for locals, because they already have a vehicle, so they could just easily pool like
hook up to
camper
that.
trailer?
Yeah, yep.
Or like a pop-up?
It's their whole setup, but they built it on a trailer.
Yeah.
Like a ATV trailer?
I haven't.
Are we talking like an R-Pod, or
No,
are we
it's
talking
it's
like
like the jumping jacks thing.
Okay,
It's
okay.
like a tent that pops up kind of thing.
Oh,
And
okay,
they've got
okay.
a built-in fridge and water and drawers underneath it and everything. And then,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's, they have like a 2-day minimum with that. So I think that would just be easier for locals. Whereas with the vehicles, it's a 7-day minimum.
Yeah.
I was asking because a dad at the kid's school has a Toyota Tundra like I have, an old one, and then an R-Pod. And I was like, well, how often do you use it? And he's like, I use it 3 or 4 times a year. I was like, oh, yeah, that's pretty good. Whatever. That's about what I use it. But I'm like, man, I wish I used it more. And he's like, well, I think it's Turo, but it might be like a camp one.
Okay.
And he rents the truck and
the
the R-Pod.
That's cool.
And so like people take it for like a week.
Yeah.
And so he just has his days blocked out, and the rest of the summer it's like gone.
It's nice if you're not committed to using it all the time.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's totally worth it.
Yeah, I like see it sitting out there. I'm like, it's worth it, but I wish people could use it. Like I'm always offering to friends and family,
Yeah, I mean, I had such a good experience. I was like, this would be cool to own. I just don't know how often I would use it.
Yeah,
That's
totally.
the only issue. If I could justify spending that much, because
Yeah.
I have other expensive hobbies.
Yeah, the rental thing or our co-op. We should have a overlander in our co-op.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, we've been under this
That's a good
big
idea.
conversation to start Alaska Wild Project co-op with just like our family friends.
Yeah, that's such a great
because
idea.
we all got rafts and 4-wheelers and trailers and R-Pods
Yeah.
and
Boats
jet boats and
yeah.
all this stuff that like will go on his thing or he'll come on our thing. But it's like if we all had it all together, then we could use it and it would just be utilized. Instead of sitting there for months.
Totally. Yeah. Yep. And then people would free up cash for other cool things.
That's a great idea.
So then your like resources would just get expansive.
Yeah. A lot of people do that like with airplanes where they all go in and buy one together.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The airplane's like a little scary because it's like who's doing the maintenance.
Yeah, there's just like if someone does crash.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like who flew at last?
Who-
Oh, Jack
yeah.
did. Yeah. I think he put some methanol in the. You're just like.
I want to come back to the flying deal. So did you end up getting your license and all that?
Yeah, yep. So I got my license 2 years ago now. Private pilot's license, and I try to fly like once a week. I rent a Cessna 172 for my flight school.
Okay.
And just kind of cruise around Soldotna and explore things. I call myself an airport pilot. I don't really fly like too remote. I'm not trying to land like on riverbanks or anything like that just yet. So I like to fly to like, Soldotna to Homer, Soldotna to Kenai, Soldotna to Seward, things like that. But I do want to start flying a little more north and explore like Talkeetna and Squitna and places like that. And maybe land in Wasilla. It's just the air is so much busier over there.
Oh, it is.
Oh,
I didn't think about that. Yeah, you're right.
And then flying into Anchorage and stuff is a little intimidating.
Yeah, I bet. Because there's international and there's all like Lake Hood
There's just a
and
lot of
Merrill.
traffic, and you got to get clearances and things like that. And so at Anchorage at least, but
Is the goal to one day have your own plane or a co-op with someone?
yeah, I would like to eventually own my own airplane, but it's totally just a hobby for me. I don't ever see it as like a career or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just something fun for me, something that I like to challenge myself, I guess. And so that to me is like the ultimate challenge is being able to do that on my own. And like I said, just kind of do these things without a man's help.
Yeah. That's cool. That's actually on I have a bucket list of things I want to do in my life. And one of them is like get my pilot's license.
You totally should.
Not for any like business reason
just do it
or
for
like
fun.
just to have it. Just to have it,
Yeah,
just to know that if I can do it.
You can really see so much more of Alaska, you know what I mean, with an airplane, and just see it from a totally different perspective. And you guys love to hunt and fish and do all that sort of stuff. Like that's like the ultimate, having a plane and being able to get more remote and go to those places on your own.
I look at it like it's cool to have one, but it's really cool to have a friend that has one.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I got a friend with a boat, I got a friend with a plane. That's really cool. I can go
all
and
you
just
need.
help out.
Like you get into the dad mode, it's like I would love if I didn't have kids, I would have a Super Cub today.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is like now you have to be upgrade to this family friendly plane, and then are you on wheels or you're on floats, and then what do you have to do when you get there? Are we camping in a tent every time, or now I gotta like go to land auction and buy and get land and build a cabin, or so you get into this like what am I going to do? And it's with everything else too. It's like you get that with the boat or the RV, but it makes it really difficult to get in the game when you have kids.
There's a lot more logistics involved with flying too, like weight and things like that.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, and then with kids and safety and
and you got to fly a lot.
Yeah.
So it's like, are you gonna, you're coaching coach pitch, or you're gonna see your kids, and you know how many days a week you're flying,
right?
When you have kids, and so it's like, do I feel comfortable flying once every 3 weeks? And then bring my kids in there playing.
That's why I'm trying to fly, just kind of still fly consistently. Is like I want to feel safe.
Yes.
I don't want to jump in and be like, whew, I haven't done this in a while. Well, let's
hope
go.
I remember what this button does.
I mean, yes, it is like riding a bike, but there's just so much safety involved and things to consider and think about, and weather factors, and just it's a lot.
So do you rent when you fly? Or?
Yeah, I was telling Dan, I rent a plane for my flight school, a Cessna 172.
Okay.
So it's nice. They handle all the maintenance and everything. It's literally fueled up. I just hop in and go.
Oh, that's nice.
In the wintertime, it's parked in a hangar. It's super nice. So
it's just legit.
It's fine right now until I can, have a spot for my own and buy one day.
What
but
are you gonna get?
That is my goal. I actually like a 2-seater, like side-by-side airplane, like a Cessna or something. Obviously the ultimate is a Super Cub, but I like being able to kind of look at the person I'm flying with and kind of talk to them and have a conversation.
Yeah, totally.
And so I would probably buy something like a Cessna 172 or maybe something smaller.
Yeah, it's a good plan.
I learned in a Taylorcraft.
Oh yeah.
Which is a really cheap airplane.
Yeah.
Like if I wanted to buy one, you can get one of those for like $40,000.
Yeah.
So
my goal is to convince one of my kids to
get into
Oh,
it.
there you go. Be a doctor.
Yeah.
And then buy a
be
beaver.
a dentist, and then buy yourself a plane, and then you can fly me everywhere.
The beaver. Yeah. Then we can go float lots of rivers.
Yeah. Get you a beaver so we all can go. Your friends and mine.
And since you're the dentist, you can pay for guests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Let's be right back.
Okay.
The Treehouse AK, your one-stop dispensary located at 341 Boniface Parkway. Be sure to ask the bud tender about their deal of the day, because honestly, there's always something good on deck. And guys, listen, this is where the culture lives. At the Treehouse, their dedication to servicing consumers has been developed through a lifetime of involvement in the cannabis culture. They're committed to providing the highest quality products at whatever value your budget affords, while always maintaining the deep-rooted principles that have carried them this far. Their focus is on relationships over transactions, and you can always depend on them to treat you with the respect you deserve. Hit them up at thetreehouseak.com, and remember, you must be 21 years of age to enter their store.
Tailored Restoration, 24-hour emergency home services, helping Alaskans restore their dreams since 1972. Services include fire, water, mold, post-emergency cleaning, repair, and remodeling. Tailored has an emergency response number with trained professionals available to help you at any time, day or night. Give them a call in Anchorage, Eagle River, Mat-Su, or Fairbanks. Make an appointment today at tailoredrestorationalaska.com.
Since 2008, Serrano's is Anchorage's own new generation of old cocina. Their menu showcases the passion and love of their rich heritage and unique family recipes that have been passed down through the generations. Serrano's goal is to embrace and display trad flavors using the best ingredients that are available. They focus on making everything from scratch daily. In-house menu includes handcrafted corn tortillas, salsas, carne asada, and chorizo. But don't take their word for it. Experience their tradition and sabor for yourself. Locations on Tudor and Northern Lights, both with new tequila bars. Check out their daily specials at serranosmexicangrill.com.
The Connoisseur Lounge, located in the heart of Palmer, Alaska. The Connoisseur Lounge is Palmer's first locally owned and operated cannabis retailer. Their beautiful store is located at 226 Evergreen Avenue. The Connoisseur Lounge has exclusive cannabis products such as Snowcap Romance, Aurora Haze, Super Glue, and one of our favorites, Sugar Cookies. And if you're not into the flower, the Connoisseur can hook you up with edibles, vape supplies, and a ton of CBD options for all your health and inflammation needs. Check out their daily deals at theconnoisseurlounge.net, or even better, stop by the lounge today. Remember, you must be 21 years of age to enter their store.
We were just talking about the Haynes Brew Fest and how it is epic. It is the biggest brew fest in Alaska.
Okay.
And part of the reason is that it's at the fairgrounds, the Southeast Fairgrounds. So it'd be like their Palmer. in Haines. And then not only does all of Southeast go, but a lot of people from Alaska go. A shit ton of Canadians go.
Oh, really?
So it's just like this awesome fest. And if you watch the videos on YouTube, they're real. Like this, like where they set up like the slip and slides on the hill, and
fun.
people can camp in a lot of cool spots. Like the city's real friendly to it, but it's supposed to be pretty damn rad.
Yeah, I missed it by like a week.
Is brewing big in Canada? I feel like Alaska's huge.
Oh yeah.
In
Yeah,
brewing,
yeah.
in like the Northwest.
Right, the Northwest for sure.
Is it maybe the biggest? Would you say? Like,
I think that
as far as area.
I think that the really friendly brewing law rules in the Pacific Northwest, excluding Alaska, really like allowed it to become that.
Okay.
So California, Oregon, Washington have the most friendly brewing laws. Like basically they're bars. So when they open up, you know, they don't have regulations that cut their ability to raise capital to grow their businesses.
Yeah.
So, but what that did is made it so a lot of them could start, and a lot of them get real good, and then a lot of them have the capital to distribute. And so it's like grown that. And Alaska kind of like has these wanderers that are like just in the you know, we experiment, we do things ourselves. So they're like, we're brewing our own beer. And we had a really good brewing club here. And so shout out to the Arctic Brewing Supply, like them and the original like home brewers group that they manage or they started. You know, those guys like brought brewing to Alaska, and anyway, got us part of that scene.
I'm curious on the Canada thing because, like, literally the only beer I know from Canada is Labatt's Blue because we play the Labatt's hockey tournament. Oh, yeah, Moosehead and Molson. But listen, we have a lot of listeners actually in Canada. Like, please hit me up. I need to know what is, like, the IPA. I'm a big IPA guy. What is the Canadian IPA?
Yeah, or cider. I want to know
cider.
both. Yeah. What's the best ones? Not like the biggest distributor, but give us like the top.
Send it to 111 East Dowling Road. Anchorage, Alaska.
That's right.
Put it in one of those coolers that you got there.
Yeah,
and we'll give you the full shot.
Well, and if we drive it up here, we'll bring you on the podcast and talk about it.
Yeah, we'll meet you. We'll meet you in Toke.
Yeah, we'll meet you at the door downstairs.
We'll meet you at the door.
Yeah, we'll trade you some double shovel, some caribou calls for it.
Oh, that's funny. I'm actually very curious about that.
Yeah,
because I never heard.
I don't know any Canadian microbrews.
No.
Yeah,
they're probably not allowed. There's a lot of shit they can't do these days.
Yeah. Okay, let's do
trivia. Trivia is back.
Trivia time.
Okay.
Trivia is back.
Yeah. So you've heard
so
about
Girl in
trivia?
Alaska. Let's see what you know.
I had brought up like some trivia music, but it just got deleted on my phone somehow. All right, so let's go to the first one here. All right, what was the first Alaskan airplane flight in Alaska history?
Whoa. Like, are you asking for the date? Or are you asking like what
date
it
or
was
like
or
what's the
destination?
Point A to point B.
The story,
The destination.
point A to point B, when it was, any information you have, anything you know about it.
I'm gonna have to say World War II. Some sort of mail or vaccination. When maybe the sled dogs couldn't make it. As far as a year goes,
See
I
where
don't
you're going
know.
with this.
I don't know about like a year. I couldn't tell you a year. But I'm thinking that it has to do with that.
Okay, all right.
No.
Okay, yeah. So where, be better, and you answered all these. So like where, what were they up to? What'd they do, and the date.
Was it no?
Well, you need to answer and guess.
I don't know the date.
We just
I'm
got
gonna
to
say
guess the date.
I'm gonna say 1948 as a year. Good luck, Danika.
I'm gonna say 1930. I'm just gonna say a little. No.
Don't go over. This is like
I'm just gonna
Price
throw
is
it up.
Right. You go over.
1930. I'm just throwing it up.
Okay.
1930. Where at?
No.
And what were they doing?
Delivering mail.
All right. So this blew my mind, by the way. So the first flight in Alaska was by James and Lily Martin. They're both aviators. They shipped their Martin tractor airplane from Seattle to Fairbanks. And on July 3rd, 1913,
Wow.
they introduced Alaska to this spectacle of powered flight. And they flew around Fairbanks at 200 feet and 45 miles an hour.
Wow.
Oh, they just like flew right around there.
Yeah. It blew my mind. I thought it was gonna be something like that. Like they like brought some planes in to do something awesome, but they bought some planes to do something awesome
Air
too.
show.
Just different.
The first air show.
Yeah. They're like, "What's this thing?" I
Goes
thought that
up.
was pretty rad. All right, so if you wanted to stay in the nicest house in Alaska, so nicest is most expensive. We'll
Okay.
just say,
Okay.
where is it and how much is it worth? And bonus points, what's the name?
House or like lodge or what? Anything.
House.
Is it the
House.
second star mansion in Homer?
It is.
Woo!
Yeah,
What?
nice. Yeah.
What is it? The second star
The second-
mansion?
Yep.
In Homer.
Hold on, I gotta
Yeah.
look this shit up.
Yeah. $9 million.
For what?
It's nice.
Oh, you've been in it?
Yeah, I've been to a wedding there.
Oh,
Second
really? They
star
rent it out?
Yeah, so it's like a wedding venue / they will rent it out.
It's the one with the
personally as
Peter
well.
Pan thing.
Yep, it's got a Peter Pan theme upstairs.
Yeah.
Okay, right
Movie
there.
theater, swimming pool.
Is that it?
It's sick. Yep.
Yeah.
Holy
Oh, there's a
shit.
swimming pool in there too?
Yep. There's a full like swimming pool. Really cool movie theater.
Yeah.
Each bedroom's just decorated super nice, really unique, and then just windows everywhere. But it's like I think it's like $5 or $10 a night
Oh,
for
really?
a wedding. Yeah.
That's not that bad.
It's not terrible, but logistics wise, you have to bring everything in: tables, chairs.
Oh, there's nothing.
Yeah, because it only sleeps like I want to say 30 people or so. But it's
Wow.
still a great
Yeah,
spot.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
right on the bluff. You can literally walk right down to the beach. It's beautiful for pictures.
I'm thinking Homer tournament.
Yeah. This is where Johnson got married.
What?
Yeah, our goalie.
You're
At
like
this place?
you guys could all rent it out with like all your families. It'd be super fun.
Yeah. The Peter Pan mansion is what we call it.
Whoa.
Yeah. Because they have this like, it's a Peter Pan themed room, right?
Yeah, there's like the
Okay, is this
the
it right
pirate
here?
Ship. You can
Oh,
see,
there
they
it
have
is.
pictures of it. Yeah,
Oh, whoa.
there's the crocodile,
Yeah.
and then
There's like a swing and there's this little guy.
there's like a
here.
little Peter Pan mural too in there.
Oh, is this the whole layout?
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
yeah,
they
look
have
at that. Sick.
like
Look at
a
that picture.
walkthrough tour that you
I
can
love
do
that
online.
picture.
Oh, it's like a top view of the whole place. Wow. Now they made this. Oh, they got a whole like what is this? Like a whole whale room?
That's the theater.
Oh, that's the theater.
You can see the screen.
Oh, okay, right there.
Yeah.
And what are these? Like some sort of whale bone?
Might be like beams or something. I think it's beams.
No, it's whale.
It's a whale.
Yeah.
And then the pool's like right below the theater.
And they just have a straight up teepee right here. Whoops, I didn't mean to click on that.
The swimming pool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a teepee room.
Is that what that is right there?
That's awesome.
I think that's in the Peter Pan room.
But you can sleep in it.
Yeah. And like the pirate ship, it's got like a slide on it, and the kids can go up in like the crow's nest and
Uh-huh.
stuff. It's really
Yeah,
cute.
that's
It's
awesome.
perfect for kids.
Johnson got married in this place.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
I didn't know he was balling
Tangy
like that.
slept on the ship.
Who's balling?
Johnson.
I guess. Damn, I didn't know Johnson. My bad. Now we know he's
I
getting
mean,
hockey
haven't you seen
beers
him
every.
play goalie?
Yeah. Now we know he's buying beers.
Yeah. He's not just a fun goalie.
Okay, that was a good one. Good.
All right.
Good question.
Yeah.
I
All
feel
right.
good now.
Nice. You nailed that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dang, I didn't
So
get the
now
chance
on the
to-
tourist related things, you answer second, which usually I say,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I forgot to this time.
Okay.
And actually, I wasn't sure if anyone was going to get that one. So good job. All right. So in order from 1 to 3.
Can I tell you what my guess was going to be?
Yeah.
What?
No, I didn't even have one. I was going to say the Sheldon Chalet.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that would be worth
that's not
way
a house.
more.
That'd be
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a chalet, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I was like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not that,
yeah.
but that's
Yeah.
like the best thing I
We were
could
talking
do.
houses.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
It's a house. I don't know.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, the Sheldon Chalet for sure is worth more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I wonder how much that's worth. We should look it up.
That's a lot too, though.
They actually not recently, but they tried to make it like more affordable, I think, for people. It used to be a lot more. Like I don't even know, 15 grand a night or something.
Yeah.
It was super expensive.
Well, the homies are like the chefs there.
Yeah, Adam Markham's gone in and
David Thorne.
Do you know Todd Ritter?
I think
He's gone up there a couple times.
Yeah.
Alaska Roots Catering.
Oh yeah.
Have you heard of the Tordrillo Lodge?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that would be another good one.
Yeah. The Tordrillo.
Okay.
I like the way that sounds.
Backcountry skiing. Go get some corn and kings. All right. So for tourist attractions in Alaska, what are the top 3 in what order?
I'm gonna say Denali, number 1. Number 2, I'm gonna say Katmai, and number 3, I'm gonna say the Kenai Refuge.
I'm going to say Denali, the Northern Lights, and dog sledding.
Oh yeah, Dana, you almost nailed it. So you both got Denali number 1. Number 3 is Kenai Fjords.
Okay,
so that was excellent. Number 2 is Tracy Arm Fjord.
I went there.
Tracy Arm Fjords?
Yeah, on the
Beautiful.
southeast.
It's beautiful.
I didn't even heard of that.
I'll show you pictures after. It's gorgeous. Huge
Whoa.
glacier, yeah.
Where is it at? In Juneau?
Out of Juneau, yeah.
Yeah, southeast.
You go down the canal and
I've been to Juneau so many times, but never left the town.
really.
Like I never went doing stuff. It's
So
always
that-
like a late night.
That one was a long one. It was an 8-hour boat tour.
Yeah.
Like it took 2 or 3 hours just to get to the glacier. And I fell asleep. Like I took a nap. It was so hot. It was like 80 degrees. The boat had no AC. The wind was just, or the sun was just beaming in on us in the windows. But once we got to the glacier, it was beautiful.
Could you go outside?
Yep. Yeah, they
Yeah.
have a huge open deck upstairs that you can take pictures on and stuff. So
Nice.
it was worth it overall.
Yeah.
It just kind of sucked that it ate up like an entire
A whole
day.
Yeah. Versus like
Yeah.
Seward, where
Right.
you're like,
2 hours.
3 hours,
Exactly.
2 or 3.
Yeah, and you're seeing wildlife right
Yeah.
away.
Are on the Seward one? Are they still offering the crab dinner on the one?
What company is that through?
Ooh, good question.
But one of them, there was only one. But like when I was a kid,
Oh,
there was
really?
one that had crab. So my mom would be like, "Hey, everyone's coming up to Alaska again," and we just have
Yeah.
like literally 1 million family members. So I've been on those tours like way too many times. And then Jack, do you want to come with your cousins? And it was like, is this the one with the crab? Yes or no? And then I'm in.
I haven't heard of that one, so
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
I
I'll
will say
start
I
doing
doubt it. And the reason I say that is because my son wanted to go watch the new Jurassic Park.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I told my wife, I said, get the big popcorn because you can refill it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No.
You can't refill it anymore.
Ever since COVID, there's no refills and they lowered their prices.
Wow.
I was like, well, the prices aren't lower.
Yeah.
That's funny.
They're $20.
So
We
I'm
have
thinking there's no like crab anymore.
Yeah.
They just lowered the prices.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that, but that would be fun.
Yeah.
I just know like Major Marine tours, Kenai Fjords tours, like some of the bigger guys, but that's just like a day cruise, and they provide like snacks and water.
Right.
but
This was a day cruise.
It was.
And you went out for like whatever, an hour and a half.
Is it a smaller boat?
No, it was one of the big ones.
Oh.
And then they made the crab there on the back.
That's awesome.
Whoa.
And then you ate the crab and then they came back in.
That's cool.
Yep. So,
Yeah, that sounds like some 1990s stuff.
yep.
Yeah, that's
And
super cool.
it's probably been
I don't think they're
pretty
serving
close
crab
till
for
then
free
since
anymore.
I've been out there. Yeah. The only other one I
It's
went
market
on was
price
like
now.
one out of Whittier. They were going like a little further, and I was looking like it was the edge of a mountain goat area, and I was in college, and I was like, oh, yeah, let me see the map again. And I, like barely got into this mountain goat area. I was like, yeah, I'll go, and I brought binoculars. And I was looking up, but yeah, didn't see any mountain goats where I
No.
needed to, so anyway.
I got a silly question, I guess. When you do the reels,
Yeah.
how many takes does it take?
It really depends. Sometimes rarely do I nail it in one take because I do a lot of voiceovers, and so it's kind of hard to.
Okay.
But honestly, it can be anywhere from like 10 to 40 tries. It just depends. And
10 to 40?
It depends on how long the voiceover is.
Yeah.
Like
How do you look up
watched any videos.
voiceovers?
So
When you search, is there like,
you find like trending audio. And
okay,
I can show you. There's like a little arrow next to the audio, and that means it's trending.
okay.
And so you want to use stuff like that. Any type of audio clip that's trending.
Yeah.
And you can also, you can tell when something's a trend too, because you'll see it from multiple pages, like the same voiceover.
Yes.
But we're all making it about our niche. You know what I mean? Like I'm making it about Alaska. You might be making it about makeup or whatever your niche is.
Yeah.
So it's like the same words are being said, but we're all trying to make it different, like make it our own.
Like the one that comes to mind is like, I'm really into this, but not like in the scientific way.
Yeah.
Or whatever that one is. And I
Yeah.
try to look it up. I was like, I don't even know how to search this.
Right.
Like, how do you even find this?
So Instagram is becoming more of similar to Google, where they're using a lot more like SEO and searchable keywords and things like that. And so they are working on making things more searchable, so you can actually type in the words to audio, but when you click on it, it'll give you options at the top. It'll say, do you want to search audio, reels, posts, accounts?
Oh,
So you search by audio and then look for that terminology. Or you can search, like you could say like, what was it again? The thing you said?
The
audio.
one.
The audio.
I'm really
Scientific.
into this now, but not like in the scientific way.
Right. So you could look up like hashtag scientific way, and I bet you it would pop up.
Okay.
You would
Okay.
see someone using it.
Okay, got it.
The cool thing too about the audio is like if you actually click on the audio, you can see everyone that's used that same audio. You can see all their reels.
Oh,
So
and
if you
how
like,
many?
yeah, and well, if you want to get like ideas, like if you're just like, I like this audio, but I don't know how to relate it to my niche, you can kind of scroll through and see how other people are using it.
Get inspiration.
You'll get inspiration like instantly.
What about like I've thought like about creating my own things like that, like the audio. Can you create your own
Yes.
original audio
Yeah,
to put on there?
for like the local Greens AK video, I did that all myself. I just recorded it.
Okay.
The best way to do it is like with your iPhone headphones.
Uh-huh.
Put yourself like under a blanket and just talk into those.
Well, I got a nice microphone right here. Man.
Yeah. No, this is better.
You have a better setup than I do, but
Yeah. That's funny that that's how you did it.
Yep. So yeah, you can do a voiceover and things like that. If I do something like that, I'll kind of write out like a script and stuff, and I'll do like a couple takes.
It's funny that you asked her that and not me, because I'm the one that filmed her all day.
Well, that was my next question. Like a lot of them, there's obviously someone filming it.
Yeah, so I'll bring my tripod, you know,
Okay.
and I always ask if I can bring a friend. Just it does make my life easier if I can have someone filming. It makes the shots cooler. You can move and stuff, whereas the tripod's just like sitting there. But you know, I'm kind of like creating this new job that really doesn't exist, and I'm traveling every day and I'm taking tours every day, and it's like my family and friends have real jobs where they work like 8 to 5, and so not everyone can go with me every time, and so I'm starting to kind of figure out how to do this strictly on my own. Like when I went to Skagway by myself, for instance, you know, I was really trying to figure out like, okay, how can I get all these shots that I want on my own and still produce that like good quality content that I want to put out.
Have you seen the selfie sticks that move with you?
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I've seen those.
Oh, there's a guy that goes downtown. He has one on like a, it's kind of like this, but it's a wheel. And it just follows him everywhere he goes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
The problem with it is like I'm a gadget girl. Like I have drones and gimbals and like all kinds of fun things and a million GoPros and a 360 cam, and I never use them.
Yeah.
Because the phone's so
I'm always
easy.
in a rush, you know, or I'm just like, oh shit, I want to capture this super fast. I'm not going to like click on my GoPro, make sure it's at the right setting. I'm just like, I flip out my phone really fast, you know, and the iPhones take such good quality pictures and video now, and that cinematic mode is like, I love it.
Are you rocking the latest?
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
What is the latest?
13.
15. Yeah.
13?
Yeah.
what I got?
I was awarded one after my
what this
11
is?
fell into Prince William Sound a couple weeks ago.
Is this a 13?
Let me
Do
see.
you-
I think yours is a 12. Because we got ours at the same time. Or mine was 11. No, yeah, we both had 12s before mine fell.
No wonder my
What's up?
Instagram's not
Do
popping.
you go to
I'm on
Prince
12.
William Sound a lot? You've mentioned it quite a bit.
Oh, damn it. Do I? Oh, I miss it already. It's like a bathtub out there. Yeah. Yeah, it's one of the things I do.
I did a glacier jet ski tour.
Oh, you
recently
did that?
there.
What did you think of that?
Oh my, that's literally like one of my top 3 tour recommendations.
Yeah.
You have to go.
The
Yeah.
Glacier
Have to.
Jet
Jet
Ski
ski,
Tour.
yeah.
Yep, it's with Glacier Jet Ski
Yeah.
Adventures based out of Whittier.
Are you riding your own jet ski?
You're
Or you're like
riding-
hugging
yep,
some
nope.
dude?
No,
You're on
they
your
are.
own jet
Okay.
ski.
Yeah. They just come ripping around.
I was like 60 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Super fun.
Where'd you go? Blackstone?
Blackstone Bay, yep. And then they
Esther Passage?
I think that sounds familiar. It's kind of hard. So while you're riding, they have these like built-in speakers, and it's cool because they're giving you instructions, but they're also teaching a little bit about the history and stuff. But it's so noisy and the wind.
You have like
and
a helmet on with audio.
Yeah, they put like a little mic in there, so they can talk to you and be like, "All right, guys, we're gonna stop here and take pictures, or let's go." Or
can you talk back?
You can't talk back. That's the only thing. Yeah.
What happens if someone falls off? Is there like someone in the back?
Yeah, there was a guide up front and behind us, and they're very like personal tours. There's only 6 people at a time, so they try to like leave like a minimal impact on the environment and things like that. And they had to get special permitting to do it and everything. But it's like the only place in Alaska that's offering that.
Yeah,
there's some haters on that. I'm just gonna say
there
that.
There are. I agree.
Well, there's haters everywhere, but there's some
with everything. Yeah. No.
Yeah, I was in Shoestring Cove, which is in Esther's Passage.
Okay.
And it was like, I think it was July 31st last year. It was a gorgeous morning, so relaxing, just chilling. And we're way up there, and I see this like way at the entrance, and I was like, oh, those dolphins, that's crazy, So like I pulled out the binoculars, I was like, oh, there's fucking jet skis, that's cool. And then like I come out, and we were in like this serene place, did not interrupt it at all. But we come out of there, and then we met up with some other friends on another one that was closer, and they had come by early in the morning or whatever. I mean, it wasn't that early.
Yeah,
it was probably 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, they can't be out here." I was like, "Oh, this is turning into Homer because Homer banned them." Yeah. So,
wow.
So when you go on that, do you leave right out of the harbor, or do they take them out on a boat and then you go?
Yeah, it's like right out of the harbor. It was kind of like all the way to the side. They had them just sitting in the water.
That can get hairball, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I've only seen them in nice weather.
They say they go out rain or shine.
Okay.
Yeah, but they only do 2 tours a day.
Okay.
And I don't know if they do 7 days a week.
How was the water when you were out there?
It was like glass.
Yeah.
It was another one of those things where like this weather isn't normal.
Yeah. I've only seen them on glass days.
Yeah.
But they can handle bigger.
Oh, and I was whipping it around. I was just trying to see. I didn't want to flip it, but I was like, we'll see. And they're very stable.
You've been a big lake.
Oh yeah. No, they're pretty stable though. They're really wide.
Yeah. Is it like a Luma ski, or is it actual like a
2022 Sea-Doo GTX?
Oh, okay.
Which is like a 3-man, right?
You could probably fit 3 people in there. They're pretty big.
Yeah, they're like 14 feet long.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, 6 of them. Yeah.
Yep.
So, no, it was 8. So
with
6.
the 2 guides.
Yep.
2 guides and
followed me out last weekend, and I had some pots set in Blackstone. So when I made the corner of Blackstone, they followed me up there, and Paxton was like, "Oh, what are these guys doing? They're coming at us. We need a gun." I'm like, "No, these are like jet skis," because he's like, "What
it's
is
a tour."
Yeah, these are not the enemy. And then
shoot them down.
Yeah, and then I went to go pull my pot, and they were headed out towards between Perry and Esther. So I think they're catching like the same tour as the big boats, and they're going up Esther Passage. And I was in Shoestring when they went by me last time, and then coming back in Port Wells. So way cool tour, and really not very interruptive to
like that
to like the people out there, like who outside of kayakers I could see, because Blackstone's like a kayaker destination. But it seems fine. There's plenty of space. It'd be annoying if there's like 300,000 of them, but there's 8.
Yeah.
What's the other?
It's a unique experience.
You said
my top 3.
Yeah.
Definitely. I always recommend a fishing charter. I'm a big fishing girl. I love to fish, but I would say a helicopter tour of some kind, like with Alpine Air out of Girdwood.
Okay.
They offer several different options. You can go land just up on a glacier. You can go dog sledding up on the glacier. They have ice climbing, like all kinds of different things. So I've done a helicopter ice climbing tour, and I've done 2 dog sledding tours. I did one out of Juneau and one out of Girdwood, and both were super fun experiences. Yeah. They're just bucket list items, you know what I mean? Like they are a little costly. Anything in the air is going to cost more, obviously, tour wise. But it's,
what's that run?
Anywhere from like 400 and upwards of 800. It just kind of depends on the tour that you're doing.
And they go with Spencer?
They go up to the Knik Glacier.
Oh, okay.
Yep, and like Colony Glacier.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
And so
I saw a couple helicopters. I was up at the Spencer Bench Cabin land on Spencer Glacier.
Okay.
I was wondering.
There's a couple different companies.
Okay.
There's like Alaska Helicopter Tours. They operate out of the Kinnick Glacier Lodge.
Uh-huh.
They're all kind of essentially going to the same
Yeah.
place. They're just all leaving at a different locations.
Yeah.
But they have like glacier paddle boarding, pack rafting, like
Yeah.
in like glacier crystal blue water. It's
Right,
so
right.
pretty.
When you said the fishing tour or the fishing guide, is it like saltwater, or are you thinking like
Just kinda
Kenai or either?
It
Whatever
depends
they're
on
into?
what the client wants, you know what I mean? Some people just like get seasick, don't want to do it. But I mean, I definitely recommend doing like the Kenai River for sure. But I also like to tell people if you can do both, I would do both, a river and an ocean tour.
What kind of Kenai fishing?
It just, again, it depends on what time of the year they
Yeah.
want to come. I try to explain to them king fishing versus silvers and reds, and just kinda, there are differences, you know what I mean? Some you can do from a bank, a boat. There's more action. Kings are a little slower, and so it just kind of. I try to explain all that to them if they don't know a ton about fishing.
Yeah.
Which it's nice because those are the people that don't really have expectations and they just want to have fun.
Yeah.
And so with those people, it's just when they're coming that kind of that's what I recommend is what's in
The
season.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you have some guys that specifically want to come for that particular species of fish. So then I recommend, okay, well, you come in these
This
months
time.
then. Yeah. So it just kind of depends on what the client wants.
Got it.
And
Now,
that's why it is really hard for me to give people quick answers and advice without getting a little more context and how old are you? What do you like to do for fun? What's your can you hike?
What should I do this weekend?
Yeah.
Well-
Hey, we're in Anchorage for a week. What's there to do? I'm like, I don't even know you. I don't know. What do you like to do for fun? There's a ton of things to do in Anchorage.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So
What are some of the other bucket list items that are on your list that you haven't done yet?
I guess I would say just seeing more of Alaska and seeing more cities. I do, I want to go to more of Southeast Alaska. Like I said, I do have some really fun trips coming up. I'm actually going to be going on a women's retreat. You guys had Tana on your show. Yeah. So I'm going to her women's retreat in July.
Like Lake Clark is.
We're going to, we'll be flying over Lake Clark, but we're going to King Salmon.
Oh, okay.
Where she's at, right?
Yep. And she's got, everything privately set up. We're going to stay at like a lodge, go fishing, learn archery skills, survival skills, fishing skills, be just with 10 other awesome women. And we all kind of know each other on Instagram, which is really fun. So we're all going to like meet for the first time, and it's all girls. So it'll just be super fun and like empowering. And then, we're going to go to Katmai National Park. So that'll be super fun. I'm excited to share that with my followers just because that's a huge question that people have. Like, how do I get there? And, what's it like? And because it is hard to get there.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to be taking a couple women's fly fishing courses with Fishyware this summer.
Okay. Yeah.
I want to learn more about that.
Who's running them?
I don't know specifically. I think Linda. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if she's teaching it herself or if she has someone else. But, and then what's another trip? I want to go to like Fairbanks in the winter and just kind of highlight that as a city. Check out Kodiak, Cordova, Ketchikan. All these places.
Oh, not Yakutat.
Oh, I do want to go there.
Go surf. Go hit the graveyard.
I got invited to Kotzebue, some other places. So those places are kind of cool because it's like I do feel like you need to kind of know someone to really see it. You know what I mean? And so it's nice that I'm able to make connections online before I go to places like that, so I can really get like a local experience there.
Yeah. Once you get Yakutat dialed in, let me know.
Okay.
Because I have yet to dial in.
That's $100 phone call.
Yeah, I'm willing to pay it. I've spent 25 years going down there, and I have yet to figure out one place to stay or one place to eat. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. Other than Yakutat Jacks. So.
You mentioned winter. I kind of want to slide into that season.
Yeah.
As obviously a lot of these things that we talked about are, summer, spring, fall activities. What are you thinking as far as like keeping your business going for winter time and winter activities? Because a lot of people think we just sit in a cabin by the fire all winter. Actually, we're outside a lot.
Totally.
In the winter time.
Yeah. I definitely myself try to get outside as much as I can in the wintertime just to kind of fight those wintertime blues. So I do feel like Fairbanks is a really cool city in the wintertime. That's kind of why I'm waiting to go there until the wintertime so I can really highlight it in the best way, because it is the best city to see like the northern lights and go on like a dog sledding tour and stay in those glass domed igloos and things like that. But also, just the wintertime activities. Like I obviously like to snow machine and ski and snowboard and hit up Alyeska and things like that more. And so as far as the business goes, I'm going to, just really try and show people that like Alaska is still a cool place to visit in the wintertime. So I do want to encourage people to also try and visit in the winter, but also maybe let's start planning for next year, because most of my clients were very last minute this year. And so a lot of the stuff is booked, like a lot of the cool places to stay at, a lot of the cool Airbnbs that I like to stay at, some of the tours like on their ideal day of when they would want to go and stuff. And so I think I'm really going to try and, market for next year as well. And I have a ton of content that I can use for next year as well, and kind of get people enticed and excited to want to visit next year and start planning more in advance.
Totally.
Are a lot of these places like booked for years to come?
I mean, a lot of the like cool Airbnb spots that I like to stay at, they're booked up, like they've been booked up for a while. Yeah. And a lot of the fishing charters are booking up. The tours, yes, you know what I mean? But it's still, you can still kind of get in, I feel like, with a lot of the tours. Yeah. But
what's your most watched reel?
So
which one is it? Oh, actually, I want to look it up.
They're the funny reels. Those ones probably do the best.
I got to commend you on that. You're very, You're very in tune with just being silly.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And like it's got to be like humbling, because you're not always being shown in the best light, or your funny face, or a funny outfit, or whatever you're doing. Yeah. Like a lot of people always on Instagram, you're trying to show your best side or your best thing, whereas those might not connect all the time. Where like some funny thing that you do, like probably hits harder than the rest.
It's more relatable, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's nice to see someone like make fun of themselves and with
what is the word? Self-deprecating.
Self-deprecating.
Yeah.
I don't wear makeup all the time. Like I show up on stories and I have no makeup on, and it's like I don't care. I think once I realize like, hey, I'm not creating these videos for everyone that I know in Soldotna, like, because those are the people you worry about that are judging you, like the people that you see every day. Once I started to be like, okay, I'm like creating content for people that don't even live here. You know what I mean? That's kind of when I started to really like break out. And you had mentioned like asking how many takes and stuff. Not only do I do the takes to like get the words right, but I start to develop more like expressions the more I do it. You know what I mean? Like at first I'm like, okay, I'm doing the words. Well, now I'm like, oh honey, and I'm like putting my like
it's almost like a comedy bit where like you do it and you do it and you do it until you get the timing right, and you get like the expression right and the pause maybe or like the look a certain way or something like that. You really nailed it on a lot.
Thank
like
you.
looking up at the screen real quick, which one is like
it's down further, so I think my highest viewed reel has like 5.4 million views. It's when I have blonde hair.
So go a lot further.
But,
okay, that's right. You
have like
you went full brunette on us.
6 or 7 reels that broke 1 million.
Holy shit.
But it's one where it's like my family always says they're going to visit Alaska, and I look in the back and I'm like, where are you?
Oh yeah.
Because no one ever visits.
Yeah.
Are you doing a reel a day? Is that your goal?
Yeah, that's my goal. Just stay consistent.
Okay. How many do you have?
Sure. Like
total.
pre-recorded?
No, total reels out.
Oh, maybe 300 or so.
Okay.
Yeah, I have quite a bit.
Okay, so we're looking for blonde Danika.
Yeah, blonde. And then there's another one where I'm like asking Google, how do I make salmon?
All right. We're into blonde Danika.
Yeah, keep going.
We're scrolling.
There's a lot.
Yeah. Are you staying brunette?
Yeah. Gosh, I don't know.
Lots of fun adventures. Lots of fish here.
Yeah, tons of fish.
Oh, a beaver.
Fishing.
Oh, that's a big J hook.
Yeah.
Or circle hook. Where is that big circle hook at?
In Homer.
Is it? In
Yep.
Homer?
Yep. Right when you get like to the docks or the harbor.
All the hockey tournaments, I don't even notice.
And then even like
you can click
the
on any of these.
choosing the
cover photo.
the cover. Yeah.
So I used to be a lot more OCD with my cover photos, and now I just throw whatever on there.
Okay.
I'm more about consistency now than I don't
Ooh,
want to
is that
say
Jake's
quality,
airplane?
but
Go up.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it is Jake's airplane.
Yep.
That was at the aviation gathering.
Yeah. Yeah, we named that airplane on this show.
It's hard to know what reel it is if you go to the
Bowser?
reels. If you go to the reels tab, because right now you're just on like my page.
Oh, okay. I got to go to the top.
Yeah, because then I have like titles on them. Reels.
We're learning
Okay.
Instagram
go back
here.
to posts. I pinned one of them. That's a new feature. That one's my second highest viewed reel.
I got to turn this up. Hold on a second.
That one actually went not viral, but it did really well on TikTok too. But like those platforms are so different. You could post one thing on TikTok and it goes viral, and then you post it on Instagram and it does terrible, or vice
Oh,
versa.
really?
Yeah,
What
it's
constitutes?
weird.
It's not going to play the audio. What constitutes viral? Is it a number?
I always say viral for me. You know what I mean? Like in
Yeah.
comparison to my numbers. So
Yeah.
if I hit, I don't know, over like a couple 100,000, that's like a really good reel for me. But if I hit over 500,000 or hit 1 million, that's viral for me.
Now is that within like a week?
No.
Day?
So that's the thing with reels is like they gain traction later on. Like some of those ones where I hit 1 million, it didn't hit 1 million for like 8 to 10 weeks
Oh,
of it
okay.
being posted.
Yeah.
But so now they have created like content creators are getting paid, like I had
Right.
said. So they have these funds set aside. The algorithm has changed, so it's harder to get viral videos now. Like it's harder to be seen because everyone's getting paid now, and so they just made like everything a lot harder to do, I feel like. But there's, Instagram's changing literally every day. There's always new features coming out, and so it's just kind of what's the next thing that's gonna boost everyone into that next.
Do you have any like forums you kind of follow that talk about like, okay, here's what the changes are. This is what we think's happening.
So like my feed, if you looked at my feed compared to your guys' feeds, you know what I mean? You're obviously watching stuff that you're interested in, right? So a lot of the things that I follow and watch are how to make money on Instagram, how to grow organically, how to create better reels, how to grow authentically. And like I'm watching people that are teaching me how to use Instagram as a business.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So
So
those-
when you go to your search, that's all it is.
that's mostly, and then there's like flying and fishing stuff,
Right.
kind of intermixed, and then the personal people that I like to follow.
But there's not like
So-
a Reddit page with like insiders
No,
that
I mean-
like a private group that your guys are like, okay, well,
There-
here's the exact thing that we're going to trend today.
Yeah, there are groups like that, but like I said, everyone's page is different. Like what works well for my audience isn't going
Yeah.
to work well for your
Sure.
double shovel page, you know what
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
and vice versa. And so it's like, while you can learn advice from everyone and learn all these tips and tricks, it's still what you do with it and how you apply it to your page, your niche,
Right.
your business. But the information is there, and it's totally doable. Like if you are a small business owner, you have to be on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like you just have to be.
Like,
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
have you heard the name Insta Queen?
I haven't.
That's your nickname.
Oh.
From several people, actually, that when I shared your thing, they're like, "Oh, you're gonna have the Insta Queen on."
Oh, that's
I was
sweet.
like, "Oh, I wonder if she's heard of that before."
It's been crazy. I get noticed a lot, I should
Yeah.
say. My family thinks it's super annoying, but then my family likes to like tease me and make fun of me. Like everywhere in Juneau, everywhere we went, she's famous. I was like, shut up. It was just so embarrassing, but it was cool because then the owner would be like, oh, hey, you should come talk to me, and then
Yeah.
kind of open the doors for
Yeah,
me
yeah.
to be able to like talk to more of the locals and stuff. But
Yeah.
That's cool.
but it is weird. Like I'm a normal person, you know what I mean? Like, yes, I have 45,000 followers, but it doesn't make me any cooler than anyone or anything like that. There's accounts that I follow that have the amount of followers I have now, and I used to like look up to them, and I used to be like, wow, that's so cool. Like they must be like doing big things. And then you get up there and you're just like, we're all normal people just trying to like survive on here
Yeah.
and make this like a business and make
Yeah.
money from it. So
Who are maybe some of the other ones that you look up to from here?
The cool thing about being in Alaska is, like I said, the influencer marketing world hasn't really like taken off here. And so you do get to kind of learn like who are the bigger content creators in Alaska. And so I am friends with pretty much all of the content creators in Alaska. I feel like we all know each other and follow each other.
Yeah.
But John Derting's like a good friend of mine. I have my friend Leslie with Far North Fashion. She's a big account. There's some cool, other accounts like Two Deer. She's like a mom who kind of documents her whole mom journey. Charlie Savely, have you guys heard of her? She's like a really cool Nat Geo photographer. There's quite a few. Rome Wild, have you heard of Tyler?
Yeah. Rome Wild. Actually, he's supposed to come on.
Yeah. So I've met a ton of people that way, and trying to, like I said, I can't get my family and friends to go on a lot of these things with me, but I'm trying to like invite other content creator friends too, and kind of include them in on the opportunities and stuff. And then it's just better for the business too. Now you have 2 big Instagram accounts coming to do your tour and stuff. And then we can film each other and get better content that way and stuff. And so, but yeah, it's cool. There's like a creator world on Instagram,
I bet.
is what we call it. Yeah. And there's a bunch of like big name creators that I like to follow that make really cool videos. And I look up to those people, and I like strive to like want to create content like that.
Yeah.
So
what would you say on average it takes for you to make, like, once you film the reel, like to edit it and all that stuff?
Like a lot of people don't, I tell people like my prices and stuff, and it's like I feel like I really have to explain to them like everything you're getting out of it. Like you're getting a 15-second reel, but you don't see like all the time it took me to create that reel. Like with you, for instance, like I was with you for like 5 hours, right?
Yeah.
I was there like pretty much the whole day. Then I have to go home. I now have 30 minutes worth of footage that I'm trying to get down to 15 to 20 seconds or less, because the shorter videos do better on Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm also trying to pack in all this information into this short video. And so it's like, just the editing time alone. Now I have to find music. I have to write out my caption. I went to school for marketing. I have a management marketing degree. So it's like, I'm also like, researching your website and trying to convey all the important information that I know I as a business owner would want to convey to this audience. And so it's like, I want to put in all the good information, like how to contact this business, what do they sell? What's the price point? What are, just the highlights and features of what they do and stuff like that. And so, it's super time consuming. The bigger business collaborations, those definitely take me longer, because I'm really putting like my heart and soul into those, because they paid me to do these.
Yeah.
But the funny videos and things like that, that's just stuff I do. I can do those in like 1 to 2 hours. It just kind of depends on how long or short the video is. I think a lot of it too, I spend a lot of time just researching videos. Like when I get on Instagram, I say I scroll with a purpose. Like I'm not just sitting there trying to be like entertained. I'm actually looking for ideas. Like how can I, entertain you guys tomorrow?
Right.
Yeah. Well, that leads me to the next question. Like, coming up with these ideas, do you have like a list of like, I want to do these things, and then still you're like scrolling, looking for new ideas all the time?
Yeah. So I have a content calendar at home. And so like if I do a paid collaboration with a company, I kind of tell them like, hey, you can expect me to post in like 2 weeks. And so every day I'm like, okay, what do I need to post today? What's due today? I try to plan everything out. And also like, I don't want to just seem like I'm just constantly promoting businesses, because I have a business myself too that I need to promote.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, I got a lot of these followers from my entertaining reels. And so it's like, I also need to create funny videos and things like that. And so on my content calendar, like for June, for instance, this whole week is going to be about Southeast Alaska, and I'm highlighting the company that I worked with. But in that, I'm going to throw in like some funny Skagway reels and like, you know what I mean? And so I just kind of like plan it all out that way.
Right.
A lot of my content comes from what I'm doing like in that moment. And then there's other things like what's going on in the world. Like, is it a holiday? Is it Memorial Day weekend? Is it fishing season? You know what I mean? And so I create content for what's going on in the world too, because that's what's most relatable.
Yeah.
Is it winter? Is everyone griping about winter right now and how we can't, keep the snow out of our driveways and stuff? So I'm going to make a funny video about it, or did something happen today in the world that everyone's like laughing at or making fun of? It's like, those are the things and the trends that you want to jump on.
Yeah.
When you're creating content.
What portable battery charger do you carry?
I have like 8. I really do. I'm not kidding.
I believe you. I believe you.
If you saw me in Skagway, I have my phone in my hand and a little white cord with my batteries in my little fanny pack.
Just keeping it charged.
Yep, I just have to. Like, I have to have it plugged in all day. It's insane. Especially when I'm out filming and doing like a job and stuff like that. But no, most of the work I do now is on my phone. Like, I'm editing on my phone. I really don't even use a computer unless I'm writing out itineraries.
Yeah.
And so, but it's nice. Like, I can go do that from anywhere. I can go sit at a coffee shop and make a video, or I can stay at home, or I could be out on the go and make a video really fast. But
yeah, the freedom and flexibility of it all
super
is
nice.
awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. So, but scary, but exciting.
Yeah, that's cool. I commend you on that. It's
Thank you.
awesome.
Thank you.
It's awesome. Jackie?
I don't know. Man, we have so many questions left, buddy. I kind of, the one that after spending the day with you and stuff, we had a fun time.
Yeah.
And actually, like, going on to like what you had to deal with, like, she on that day had to deal with me in my business, but I didn't
I
pay.
deal with this guy a lot. It's a problem sometimes.
Right.
The manufacturer hired you, and it was like kind of a deal that we had set, but we hadn't, Danika and I hadn't set that with them. They set that separately. So it was interesting to see like the dynamic between the two. And it made me think, like, after you had left that day, and I meant to ask you, like, there has got to be like the most like a really like awkward experience, and I don't think we had any awkward experiences, but like, do you have one?
I had any?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say like awkward. I don't know. I try to like get people to kind of warm up, I guess. I try to ask questions, and I know that people feel more comfortable like talking about stuff that they're comfortable talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I try to ask, like, so when did you start your business? How long have you been doing this for? And that kind of will start to get people to open up a little bit. But I have had some shy people. Sure. I have had a couple people where I'm like, do you want to be on camera explaining all of this, or do you want me to like explain all of it? You know? But I really do try and tell my business owners, it really is best if you explain everything. It's so coming from you, you know what I mean? The information's more accurate. It's more authentic. People can really get to know you as a business owner. And when they do that, it makes them in turn want to support you and want to buy from you.
Totally.
Yeah.
So, but no, I haven't yet.
How about something funny with, go for it.
I did have a guy call me for a consult call, and I'm pretty sure he just wanted to talk to me.
Oh, there you go. That's awesome.
Is girl in Alaska single?
No, I have a boyfriend.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Yeah, he told me a lot about conservation of fishing when he came over.
Yes.
Yeah, and so
he's all about that.
Yeah,
so,
he needs to keep doing that.
Yes. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's a bold move. Good for that guy.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, that sounds
well,
fun.
he's like kind of asking me about Alaska, and then was like telling me about his life, and was asking me personal questions, and I'm like, so back to Anchorage, you know. Like,
I don't live there, but
and then like, so where do you live? Oh, I live on the peninsula.
Oh God. Yeah,
really close to Anchorage.
I have had a couple creepy encounters out in public. I was out in Seward with my girlfriends, and we just saw this guy in the corner, and he was kind of, I don't know, he was just watching us, I guess. But he later like wrote me that night and was like, "Did you guys have fun playing darts?" And I'm like,
weird.
Why don't you just come say hi instead of like staring at us?
It's coming in the DMs later.
No bueno.
Well, and then I'm like, did he follow us around? Because we went to like several other spots after that. And then I'm like, did he follow us to our Airbnb? Like,
oh God, he's in the window.
We're in a small town in
outside?
Seward. Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure it was harmless. But just the bigger my page grows, the more people are starting to notice me. And so I am really realizing, like, as a female, you know, I do need to be a little safer, like when I'm out doing this stuff on my own and traveling on my own and things like that.
You have a bear spray belt.
So So
works on people too.
Seems like it worked real good.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we'd all kind of cheer. It's like, yeah, you got practice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So what are some other goals you might have, like within like the next year or 5?
I've got a ton of ideas just for Girl in Alaska in itself. So in August, I'm going to be coming out with like some city guides, some pre-made itineraries, like a 7-day Alaska itinerary, 10-day, 14-day, things like that.
Yeah.
Because I do have a lot of people that just, they just want to take all the phone call and everything out of it, and they just want to, it's just easier. They can go directly onto my website and click buy, and it's done.
Okay.
So just creating a little more passive income for myself too in that way.
Yeah.
I'm kind of in the process of writing a children's book.
Oh, really?
Oh, tell us more about
just
that.
like some things like that. So it's a kind of like a children's series kind of based off my niece. My niece's name is Charlie, and I just want to like encourage her, like I said, to do things that the boys typically do. And I'm introducing her to airplanes, and my brother-in-law's a fireman, so she has fire trucks, and like, we're not
Cool.
gender specific toys here. We're giving her everything. And so anyways, I thought of just this idea of like this little girl who kind of travels around Alaska and experiences and sees new things and does things that like little girls typically don't do.
Yeah.
So
That's important.
yeah. And so I have a friend who's actually writing a book right now in Soldotna, and she's kind of helping me and giving me advice and stuff like that. So.
Yeah.
When can we expect it?
I don't know.
What's the title?
Right. I don't know that yet.
If you need a draft reviewer, let me know.
Do you know an illustrator?
No, maybe actually.
Yeah, I think we probably do.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So then just some other ideas as well for the business. Obviously, like I get a lot of people that like the Alaska sweaters that I wear, but you can only buy them at like Alaska gift shops.
I was gonna just say
The ones
that's
I
like
get.
the super like
Yeah.
touristy,
Right?
just like Alaska.
I know.
love it.
But I love it. I rock them. I don't care.
I used to wear that like all the shows, like when I used to rap and do hip hop shows. Like I would always wear like some touristy Alaska shirt.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jerry and I's like king fishing secret was to have like the cheesiest king salmon fishing shirt, and that we had to have the same one. And I still have them. Like they work, man. They come with good luck.
That's great.
But yeah, some type of merch line in that aspect, and I don't know. I have tons
getting
of
in the merch
ideas.
game.
Yeah,
You should.
Yeah,
You
so I get I have people that want to support me and are like, if you made Girl in Alaska sweaters, I'd buy one.
Yeah. And they might not like book a tour with you or and things like that. And like we get the same thing. Like you might not want to be a sponsor or advertise or anything like that, but you're gonna buy a hoodie or a hat or a water bottle or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, like my mom's not gonna like advertise, but she wants to like buy a hoodie or like, something like that, which is cool.
Super rad.
Yeah.
I saw some dads at the baseball field with their shirt.
I know. Alexia's like, I saw like 3 people with Alaska Mom. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
I see your stuff all over.
Yeah, it's going
sure.
good.
Yeah.
It's going good.
Yeah.
What about, I want to get into food a little bit because I love to eat. You can tell this shirt is a little tight. Let's say must go to restaurants in like 3 places. I'll let you choose the places in the restaurants. Or do you want me to choose the places?
Yeah, maybe ask me some places.
That's Homer. It could be a cafe. It could be. Doesn't have to be like
it's
fancy.
like everyone loves it, but like Fat Olives, you know what I mean?
Or huge pizza.
Yeah, not the pizza. I do like their like sandwiches and salads.
Okay.
I do like AJ's steak.
Yeah, AJ's is bomb.
AJ's is pretty good.
What happened to the Mermaid?
I don't know.
Didn't they buy that cafe cups and then they like closed or something?
Yeah.
I thought it was such a cool spot when it was like.
There was also like Two Sisters Bakery.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're
shut
gone.
down.
Yeah.
So a lot of those like smaller good places kind of went down in COVID, unfortunately.
What about Soldotna?
Soldotna.
Because I almost feel like the majority of Los Anchorage people like just are driving through Soldotna or going like to go to their cabin or
so
wherever.
we're like a big food truck city. So like
Really?
Yeah, every Wednesday we have the Wednesday market. It goes on June, July, and all of August. And so I'm just a huge fan of like the local food trucks. There's Promethean Cuisine, there's the Reindeer Hut. Yo Tacos, just a lot of like small business owners that some of them have even opened up restaurants and kind of moved on from the food truck game, which is really cool to see.
Yeah.
And then restaurant wise, I mean, I love like the brewery, the Kenai River Brewery. St. Elias is a good spot. Addie Camp's kind of cool. It's just a little more
Addie Camp?
fancy for Soldotna, I should say. Yeah, it's in like a old
never heard
railroad
of
car.
Yeah,
Like
they have
train
a farm.
car. Yes, they have Fresh 365.
Addie Camp? ADI?
ADDIE.
Addie
Yeah.
Camp.
So they have a little vertical farm there.
Oh, they
where
do?
They do farm to table.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's pretty
perfect.
rad. It's a
Oh,
train
nice.
car.
Yeah.
What about like you want the fanciest, best meal you could ever get on your trip to Alaska?
I'm just not like a fancy meal kind of gal.
Good answer.
I like some of the hole in the wall places, you know what I mean? Like it was fun to kind of see some of the smaller restaurants and stuff in Skagway and even in Juneau. So I don't know fancy wise. I feel like you'd have to go to Anchorage to get that.
Yeah.
Or like a private lodge that's like privately catered.
Yeah.
Yep. Sheldon.
That would probably
Yeah,
be.
Sheldon
delicious
or hire
steak.
I
someone
bet,
to go on
I
their
bet
boat.
Sheldon that probably takes the cake
Yeah.
with the view and everything and the food. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The muskie, man. You can't go wrong with
I
The
do love.
muskie?
I always recommend the double muskie to my
Yeah.
clients. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one for sure. It's been a while since I've been there.
Oh, yeah, man. It's so good.
It's
I went
pretty
once this
good.
year.
I go once a year. I'm
Do you
with my
like-
parents.
Do you like Jack Sprat?
I love Jack Sprat. You don't like Jack Sprat?
No, they're super inconsistent.
Yeah,
I don't like
That's
them.
hard.
I've been there a lot of times. Yeah. And there's like this poshness. I don't know what this this arrogance.
Good
that-
word.
Yeah.
Like I tried to match him last time, and it finally like made me
Cringe.
like him more because I matched it, and then he smiled, and I was like, all right, you're actually human.
Oh no.
But no, they have great food. I just think that there's some other options there, but keep going to Jack Sprat's and leave some tables open at Muskie and what's the
Share 5.
the newer one across from the old Silver Tip.
A High Tower Pub.
No, that
I
so
love that
across from
place.
there.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Is it like the burrito place?
No, it's the Spoon Line.
Oh,
The Spoon Line
Bistro.
is
Okay.
exceptional.
Is that breakfast?
So
Okay.
it's dinner, and it is intimate. It's definitely like on the craft side where really small portion, really small staff, so and not a lot of people in there. It's good food. The Spoon Line is legit.
Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, and if you like shrimp and grits, it's the best shrimp and grits.
Shrimp and grits?
Shrimp and grits, the best shrimp and grits in Alaska. So yeah.
Wow.
But no, Jack Sprat's is great. I just don't think that for me it doesn't live up to the same expectation as when I talk to everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there last week and it was great. So I got the burger because
It's safe.
the bim bam boop
Burger's always
or
safe.
whatever. Like I just can't. Yeah.
Well, have you been to either of you that Birch and Alder?
No, I haven't. No.
What about that new whiskey and ramen?
Okay,
is
it's
that
not open
open
yet.
yet?
It's not
That
open
looks
yet, but I just
killer.
saw what's her name's like she must have got some hidden like secret like
Is
pre
it Amber?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, Amber, what the fuck?
I was
She
like,
got,
how do I get in on that?
Yeah, like what's up? Like you got in there on
I'll
that?
promote it on my
I want to
page.
work
Yeah.
the kinks out first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but looked like
Yeah.
legit though.
Yeah.
Like just the atmosphere.
Yeah, the
looks cool.
atmosphere, the
way they set it
vibe,
up.
and like super like I don't know, look legit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope so. I mean, they've been working on it for like 3 years.
Yeah.
So,
I just had a
Where-
bomb ramen the other day by that House of Berea food truck.
mhm.
And
In
they,
Girdwood?
well, it was at Double Shovel when I had
okay,
it, but
okay.
he made a ramen with the Berea and the Berea like.
Did you post that? I seen
sauce.
someone
Yeah,
else
I did.
post
It
that.
was
that
so
you?
good.
Okay.
Oh,
I had his like egg taco.
okay.
Ooh, so good.
Yeah, he knows what's up.
Is he the same one? He was in the bagel factory for a little bit.
I'm not sure.
And then he like was serving out of the bagel factory, but I think he had his truck in the back.
I'm not sure. I do know that he has like one of those.
Is he a young
two-
guy? Maybe he's like Mexican or Filipino. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's him. Yeah.
Yeah.
He does good shit.
Yeah, and that food truck he has is a new food truck. I saw it on Facebook Marketplace, less than a year ago. So,
Okay.
but man, his stuff is good.
That's cool.
Yeah. A lot of good food.
Yeah.
Got me hungry.
I was surprised
I
I
know,
see a
right?
ramen though at a Berea truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, he does every time I'd go in there, we'd always chat. He was a customer of mine, and he'd always like give me something that was like he's like testing.
Yeah.
You know, which I always love. Like it's
Appreciate
not on the
that.
menu.
Yeah,
He's just like, you gotta just try this.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, like throw it my way.
So, but I will say the best food truck in Alaska is Mochileros.
Okay.
Have you had
Mochileros?
Mochileros yet?
Oof.
Oh my God,
So
it is
good.
unbelievable.
They're at your spot a lot, right?
They're at my spot, but the Girdwood has them all the time
Do they?
too.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. It's
I'm always worried like
Guatemalan.
that bus is gonna break down.
I think it does, but Wit just fixes it up.
They just start selling wherever it breaks
The
down.
food is good.
Yeah. So what's crazy about it is, I've probably seen 50, way more than that, 100 different food trucks at Double Shovel. Mochileros is the only one that more people come for the food, don't even go inside, and they'll start lining up at noon, and they sell out every night.
Wow.
It's unbelievable.
That's cool.
But it's also cool because they're bringing their culture's cuisine, and it's not cuisine and cuisine. Cuisine. Thank you. And and it's not really
cuisine. Is that what you said?
Did I say it? I can't speak. But the cool thing is, like, it's not like Americanized.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's true Guatemalan.
authentic.
Yeah, it's very Central.
Yeah.
It's like legit Central American.
What do you get there?
I like the
burrito?
yeah. I like French fries,
Burger.
dobladas. So I like the chicken dobladas. Yeah.
Dobladas.
But I don't get that because I'm not allowed to order anymore. So I walk up and they're like, "What do you want? How hungry are you?" And it's how hungry are you?
And then
I like give them like a level, and they're like, "I know what you want," and then they'll make me stuff that they're trying out or whatever.
Oh wait, what's the level? How do you do the level?
Depends.
This high? This
Yeah.
hungry?
So this is like I'm really hungry, and this is like I'm not that hungry, because Anna will stuff me, man.
I should do that with my boyfriend. How hungry are you?
Yeah.
When I go like this, she always makes me Wit's favorites that aren't on the menu.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Danika, tell people where they can find you, especially a lot of our listeners are people that are out of state that are doing their research right now for moving here, trips they're doing here. Obviously, we have a lot of local listeners as well. Maybe some stuff that that you can help them out with. How can they find you? What's the best route to get in touch with you to do some awesome stuff that you're doing?
Yeah, definitely. So I can help out locals, travelers coming to the state, local businesses within the state. You can reach me either on my Instagram page. That's kind of primarily where I operate. It's Girl in Alaska. So it's girl.in.alaska. But if you just search Girl in Alaska, it should pop up. Also, I'm on TikTok, same handle. It's the Girl in Alaska handle. And then you can also check out my website. It is girlinalaska.com. That's going to have more information about the services that I provide and the pricing. And you can also book directly with me on my website. There's a book now button, and you can figure out like a date and time that works best for your schedule. Also, you can just shoot me a DM. Like if it's just too hard to navigate on my website and you just want to talk to me directly, you can shoot me a DM and we can get on the phone and talk that way as well.
Unless you're the creepy guy in Seward.
Unless you're the creepy guy or the guy that just called to talk.
Thanks, Danika, for coming in.
Yes, thank you for having
thank you
me.
for giving this avenue for people that want to visit our state, for locals and outsiders as well. I think it's a very original, modern way to show people Alaska and have a different experience that's not cookie cutter,
Right.
super touristy, and personal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's super rad.
That's what I'm going for.
Yeah.
Thank
Loved
you.
having you over at Local Greens. Thanks
Thank
for all your
you.
support.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, you got to come over to Double Shovel sometime.
I will, yes. I want to do like a behind the scenes experience.
Yeah,
That'd be fun. Yeah.
I'm going to put you to work again, though.
Okay.
Come get a hot dog. I know you still like hot dogs.
I'll be there. I'll be back in Anchorage soon too.
Yeah.
I'm the hot dog queen in Soldotna.
Okay.
I said instead of hot girl summer, it's hot dog summer.
Okay, time out. I gotta just end this really quick. Have you guys ever heard of the Glizzy God?
No.
That's my new nickname.
The glizzy
Glizzy
People
god.
calling me the Glizzy
Why?
God. I didn't know what it meant. Glizzy means hot dog.
Oh, okay.
My
okay.
sons are like, "You're the Glizzy God," And then like the random people have just been like, "Oh, we're at the Glizzy Gods."
That's
like,
funny.
I'm like, what is the Glizzy?
You need
what
to
is Glizzy?
use that to your advantage. Make that a hashtag.
Real coming, Glizzy God.
Yeah. Put a little sign on your stand. Like tag us. Hashtag.
Hashtag Glizzy God.
That's awesome.
Take advantage of that.
Yeah, my wife doesn't like it. Alaska, stay wild.
You'll remember my speaking to you of what I call your overcautiousness. Are you not overcautious when you assume that you cannot do what the enemy is constantly doing?
The Alaska Wild Project podcast is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Barney's Sports Chalet, supplying hunters with the best hand-selected gear since 1963. The exclusive home of frontier gear built for the rugged Alaskan terrain. Your one-stop shop for all your outdoor needs. Visit Barney's today at 906 West Northern Lights.
Arbor Digital, the forefront of digital assets, cryptocurrencies, and wealth management, providing a low-cost, research-based investment strategy for Alaskans looking to invest their hard-earned money. Visit arborcapital.io today to put your money to work.
Tailored Restoration 24-hour emergency home services, helping Alaskans restore their dreams since 1972. Services include fire, water, mold, post-emergency cleaning, repair, and remodeling. Give them a call in Anchorage, Eagle River, Matsu, or Fairbanks. Hit them up at tailoredrestorationalaska.com.
Total Truck and Alaska Overlander, Alaska's premier supplier for custom automotive accessories and overlanding products, providing all-inclusive rental vehicles and trailers custom outfitted to explore the Alaskan backcountry with a unique and convenient traveling experience.
Serrano's Mexican Grill, 2 locations, one on Tudor, one on Northern Lights. The Northern Lights location has their new tequila bar. Check it out. Also see their daily specials at serranosmexicangrill.com.
TheTreehouseAK.com, located at 341 Boniface Parkway, Alaska's own and grown cannabis and CBD store. Ask the bud tender what the strain of the day is to get your 10% off. The Treehouse, where the culture lives.
The Connoisseur Lounge, Alaska's premier locally owned and operated cannabis retailer, located in the heart of Palmer, Alaska. Their cultivated products include Snowcap Romance, Aurora Haze, Super Glue, and much more. Find them at theconnoisseurlounge.net.
AKO Farms, located in Sitka, Alaska, built from the ground up with concentrates as their single motivation, with exclusive products such as their sugar wax, full spectrum diamond sauce cards, and more. Ask your local bud tender about AKO. Marijuana has intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming and addictive. Marijuana impairs concentration, coordination, and judgment. Do not operate a vehicle or machinery under the influence. There are health risks associated with consumption of marijuana. For the use of only by adults 21 and older. Keep out of the reach of children, and marijuana should not be used by women who are pregnant or breastfeeding.
The Bait Shack, located on Ship Creek upstream of the bridge. Can't miss the bright red shack. They are the go-to fishing gear rental and guide service on Ship Creek. Tight lines and fish on. Come hook into the action with them. Hit them up at thebaitshackak.com.
Anchortown Dogs, located on 4th Avenue across from the old 4th Avenue Theater. Look for the blue and gold umbrella. From reindeer dogs to bomb euros, they've got you covered. Anchortown Dogs, your local gourmet hot dog and sausage cart.
Crude Magazine, Alaska-based media outlet using the last frontier as a springboard to discover larger truths about the cultures of our great state. Read more at crudemag.com.
Lawn Pro AK, Alaska's year-round professional property maintenance team. Services include snow and ice management, weekly lawn care, and more. Get your free estimate today at lawnproak.com.
Double Shovel Cider Company, located off of Arctic and 58th. Handcrafted Alaskan-made colonial ciders. They also have a tap room downtown on the corner of 5th and E. Stop by today and taste an award-winning cider.
Lady with a Plan, your own Alaska event planner. From scouting the perfect location to planning the tiniest details, specializing in event management and production for intimate social gatherings. Find Lady with a Plan on Instagram.
Should you not claim to be at least his equal in prowess and act upon the claim? I say try. If we never try, we shall never succeed. This proposition is a simple truth, and it's too important to be lost sight of for a moment. If we cannot beat the enemy where he now is, we never can. It is all easy if our troops march as well as the enemy, and it is unmanly to say they cannot do it.